Your microphone.
Oh, are we good to go now?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Clark, are you able to hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you fine. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. I don't have any interpreter matters marked at this time, but if you could just double check, see if there's anyone here who does need the assistance of a Spanish interpreter, that'd be greatly appreciated.
Sure. Buenos días, damas y caballeros. Si hay alguien que necesite intérprete en español, levanten la mano, por favor.
No hands? All right, looks like we do not have any Spanish matters, but I appreciate you stopping in so we can double check that. Thank you so much.
No problem. Take care. Have a good day.
Thank you. All right, good morning. I'm Commissioner Procco. This is the 8 a.m. initial appearance calendar for May 2nd, 2025. The court's orders for the taking of DNA and fingerprints that were given on the first calendar of this month shall apply to all matters on this calendar as well. All right, when you hear your name, please step up to the podium that's in the center of the courtroom in here. At the end of your hearing today, you are going to be receiving paperwork. That will cover everything we go over in here, so that's going to include your next court dates as well as all of your release conditions. For those of you who will be out of custody prior to your next court date, I do recommend contacting the court in advance of that date so you can verify your hearing details. You can also check to see if there are other ways of appearing, since some of the courts are still allowing for virtual appearances for some hearing types. Please keep in mind you have the right to remain silent. Everything you say in this courtroom is being recorded, both audio and video, and could be used in a future court proceeding. We're going to begin today with Caleb Castorena, and then Robert Hardiman is going to be up after that. Behind the podium. And sir, please state your full name and date of birth.
Caleb Castellano, 3699.
All right, thank you, sir. So you were here for a probation violation warrant that was issued. That's for a petition to revoke that was filed in your matter alleging a violation of term 21 of your probation term. So the public defender's office has been appointed. You do have a revocation arraignment hearing May 8 at 8:30. That'll take place at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. This is a non-bondable warrant. In other words, you're not eligible for release at this time. You are going to be held in custody at least till that next court date on May 8th. That is pursuant to Rule 7.2 and 27.7 of the Arizona Rules of Criminal Procedure. We're going to give you that information here in a moment in your paperwork. I'll have your court dates as well as that release condition, but do you have any questions regarding this information?
No.
All right, sir, if you want to go ahead and step over to your left there, you can go ahead and have a seat at this time. We've got Robert Hardiman and then Alexander Dennard up after that. Hey, Mr. Hardiman, go and state your full name and date of birth.
Robert Hardiman, 6/24/1981.
All right, thank you, sir. So you're here for a new case out of Superior Court. Now, this one is alleging 1 count of burglary in the first degree, which is a Class 2 felony, 2 counts of aggravated assault, a Class 3 felony, and 1 count of criminal damage, that's a Class 1 misdemeanor. So in this matter, let me double check this here because I have you as not qualifying for court-appointed counsel. All right, we're changing this to reflect that the public defender's office is being appointed in this matter. All right, that's been signed again, Marissa. Your court dates here are going to be a status conference May 8 with a preliminary hearing May 12, both at 8:30. Those are going to be at the Superior Court located in downtown Phoenix. Based on the nature of the offense that you have here, I do find that you do pose a risk to the community and alleged victim in this matter. So I am setting a bond in this case. You have a $75,000 secured appearance bond. If you were to post bond and be released from custody, it would be subject to the supervision of pretrial services with electronic monitoring that would be added prior to your release. And that is being put in place because your orders are going to include that you cannot return to the scene of the offense. You cannot have any contact whatsoever with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness. You are not to possess any weapons while on release. Do you have any questions regarding that?
No, ma'am.
All right, if you want to go and step over, we'll get you your paperwork here in a moment. I don't know if it's been reprinted. If so, it looks like it's ready for you. All right, we have Alexander Dinner, and then David Allen will be up after that.
Good morning, Your Honor.
All right, sir, your full name and date of birth.
Alexander Denard, 08/28/1991.
All right, thank you, sir. You are here for a new case out of Superior Court. The charges that were submitted here today
Yes.
are 1 count of discharging a firearm at a non-residential structure, a Class 3 felony, 1 count of discharging a firearm within city limits, a Class 6 felony, and 1 count of criminal damage which is a Class 5 felony. So the Public Defender's Office has been appointed. You do have a status conference set on May 8th with a preliminary hearing May 12th, both at 8:30. Those are going to be at the Superior Court located in downtown Phoenix. So in this matter, based on the nature of the offense here as well, and in particular, the use of a gun in this case, you do have a bond in this matter. That's a $50,000 secured appearance bond.
How much?
You have a $50,000 secured appearance bond.
50?
50, correct. If you do post bond and you are released from custody, it would be subject to the supervision of pretrial services with electronic monitoring to be added prior to your release from any facility. That's being put in place because you're going to have orders that you not return to the scene of the offense. You cannot go back to that location, period. No contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness, and you cannot possess any weapons while on release.
Okay.
Do you have any questions regarding any of that information?
So am I being held in custody?
So you do have a bond that you would have to post. If you're able to post the bond, you'd be eligible for release in this matter, assuming you have no other holds out of a different court. If you're unable to post the bond, then you would remain in custody. You'd be transported to that next court date that you have.
Okay. On the paperwork, will it state the bond and?
It will.
Okay.
Yep. All of those release conditions will be included in your paperwork.
And that's 10%, right?
So you do have a secured appearance bond, so you are able to work with a bail bonding company, which I know is often the 10% with security, but as far as what they would require, you got to contact them. Okay. You're going to have access to phones, and there's actually numbers for different bonding companies back there if you want to reach out.
Okay. I just want to imply that, I work for the DPS and, I take full accountability of my actions and everything, and just trying to get back out so I can work and take care of my kids and everything.
Speak with your attorney about that, okay? But I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right.
All right, so we have David Allen, and then Kenneth Pantar will be up next. Hi, Mr. Allen. Go and state your full name and date of birth.
David Zachary Stewart Allen, January 3rd, 1989.
Sir, you're here for a new case out of Superior Court. This is alleging one count of aggravated assault. That is a Class 3 felony. In this matter, the Public Defender's Office has been appointed. You have a status conference set on May 8th with a preliminary hearing May 12th, both at 8:30. Those are going to be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. In this matter, based on a review of your history, as well as the nature of the offense that you have here, which is considered to be a dangerous offense, you do have a bond. That's a $25,000 secured appearance bond. If you post bond and are released from custody, would be subject to the supervision of pretrial services. I'm sorry, you don't have pretrial services. You're ordered not to return to the scene of the offense or of any contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness. You're not to possess any weapons. Do you have any questions regarding that?
No.
All right, sir, if you want to step over, we'll provide you with paperwork. Looks like it's ready to go, and you can have a seat. All right, we have Kenneth Pantar, and then Patrice Brown will be up after that.
All right, all right.
Your full name and date of birth,
Hello, hello.
January 12th, 1976.
and your full name.
Kenneth Howard Painter.
All right, sir, you're here for two separate cases. Both of these are your open felony matters. They're both here today for a bond surrender. So in each of those cases, you have a status conference now set May 12th, although I think you also have one earlier than that, so that'll still reflect too. So that May 12th date might end up going away. And in each of these matters, I am going to be setting your original bonds back in place that you were out on bond for. So the first one in the matter ending in 342 is going to be that $500 bond. The next one in the matter ending in 739 is going to be the $20,000 bond. So you're basically back to where you were before you were released on your prior occasion. Do you have any questions regarding that?
Thank you for that daily heart.
No.
All right, if you want to go and step over, you can go ahead and pick up that paperwork that's over there. All right, so we have Patrice Brown, and then Timothy Court will be up next.
Timothy, come on down. What up, Tonka? What up? Let me see who else is it. Brandy. What up, Don? Who else is in here? Brandy. Pumpkin. How is everybody doing today?
All right, full name and date of birth.
He's looking like
Edmund Brown,
pumpkin.
7/11/91.
All right, thank you, sir. So you are here for a for a warrant that was issued. This is for a direct complaint that was filed. So that direct complaint alleges 1 count of robbery, a Class 4 felony, 1 count of possession of dangerous drugs, also a Class 4 felony, 1 count of assault, and 1 count of disorderly conduct. Those are both Class 1 misdemeanors. The date of offense for this matter is August 31, 2024. The Public Defender's Office has been appointed. You do have a status conference set on May 8th with the preliminary hearing May 12th, both at 8:30, and those will be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. I know you've already got some other holds since you were just in here and given those, so I am going to be affirming the bond that is in this warrant. So that's a $5,000 secured appearance bond. So that would be in addition to whatever other bonds you already have in place in your other matters, okay?
Thank you for that, Daily.
Do you have any questions about that?
Yes. I was incarcerated for I think that matter, and I don't understand how is it coming back. Like,
a direct complaint was filed in this case. It looks like it was just filed in this case.
in 2024?
What up, Ibarra?
It was just filed in 2025. The offense date, though, is August 31 of 2024. This is an open case now in Superior Court with a direct complaint that has just been filed.
Ernie's been on your mind all
All right.
morning.
Any other questions regarding that? All right, go ahead and have a seat. All right, so we've got Timothy Court. Carl Grimm is going to be up after that. Sir, state your full name and date of birth.
Timothy Court,
Thank you for that,
22484.
All right, and we do have the state here on this matter.
Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you, Your Honor. Brooke Gahn on behalf of the state.
All right. Sir, you are here for two separate cases here today. I'm going to start with a new case that's out of Superior Court. So in that matter, the charges are going to be 4 counts of fraud schemes, a Class 2 felony, 3 counts of theft, Class 3 felonies, and 1 count of theft is a Class 5 felony. The dates of offense in this matter range between April 18 of 2022, and you've got one 2024 date, July 20th of 2024. Based on the financial information submitted, I don't show you qualify for court-appointed counsel. You do, of course, have the right to retain an attorney to represent you in this matter. Your court dates here are going to be a status conference set on May 8th with the preliminary hearing May 12th, both at 8:30 a.m. Those will take place at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. So I know the state did submit a written recommendation, but I'll go ahead and turn it over to you, Ms. Gahn, if you want to address that.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state's asking for a $25,000 cash-only bond. This is based on the fact that there are multiple offense dates. Mr. Court has prior felony convictions. He is currently on probation for a violent felony. He was allegedly operating a widespread and ongoing fraud scheme wherein he had a website and YouTube videos that reached people all over the country, including in other countries. He allegedly defrauded at least 4 customers of more than $25,000. There are likely more victims out there. Additionally, his website and YouTube videos are still active as of today.
We got to look him up.
We are concerned that there's been a significant economic harm to the community. Additionally, given the level of the fraud scheme, we're concerned that he may have access to significant amounts of illegally obtained funds that he could use to flee the jurisdiction. Additionally, in regards to his probation matter, because of these new charges and the severity of these new charges, the state would ask that he be held non-bondable pursuant to Rule 7.2C.
All right. Thank you. That makes sense.
Ashley, I was reading the comments.
All right. Mr. Court, I am familiar with your criminal history. I did take a look at that. I do know that you are currently on probation, and actually we're on probation for at least one of these dates of offense. I don't believe you were on probation yet for the rest of them.
Did anybody catch his name?
I did also take into account the fact that you've actually been in contact with probation and have been at least somewhat compliant in that regard. So I have weighed all of that in here based on the fact that you do have multiple victims in this case, multiple dates of offense now with what appears to be an ongoing fraud scheme rather than just an isolated event. I do believe a bond is appropriate. In recognition of the fact that you have been compliant with probation while out, I'm not going to go quite as high, but you do have a bond in this matter, which is a $15,000 secured appearance bond. You do have your probation case here as well.
Timothy is cooked,
and with respect to the theft charge, you're going to have orders that you not have any contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness. You still can't possess any weapons. You do still need to contact probation within 72 hours if you do post bond and are released in this matter. Now, in your probation case, I know the state is also requesting you be held without bond in that, which I did consider in that case, but I'm, again, taking into account the fact that you have remained compliant in the probation case, and that's the only reason that I'm deviating from that request. Otherwise, I would be going right along with that in agreement. So in that case, you've got a revocation arraignment hearing May 8 at 8:30. That'll be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. In that matter, you have a $2,500 secured appearance bond, again, with all of your same terms still being in place for probation, because you are still on supervised probation, even though you are currently in probation violation proceedings. You do need to contact probation again within 72 hours. They're aware that you've been arrested in this case. All right. Any questions from you regarding either of these matters?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Anything further from the state?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. Go ahead and have a seat. Oh, I think we need to reprint his. We reprinted his paperwork.
So I got 2 accounts.
So
You're
we'll
on the
get
big
you that
account.
paperwork. All right. So we've got Carl.
What up,
Bren.
Taurus?
After that, it's going to be Dulce, Candela Perez.
Has anybody ever seen his white tea
All right,
videos,
Mr.
if you
Bren,
will?
please state your full name and date of birth.
Carl Grimm, 7853.
All right,
Not
thank
the
you, sir.
flip
So
flops.
you have 4 separate cases here today that we need to review. I'm going to go ahead and start with the new matter. Well, this is an older charge, but it's the new case that was just brought in. This will be your case out of Superior Court. This is for 1 count of unlawful flight from law enforcement. That's a classified felony with the offense date of November 13 of 2024. The public defender has been appointed. You do have a status conference set on May 8 with a preliminary hearing May 12, both at 8:30. Those are going to be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. In this matter, based on the nature of the charge that you're here for, that being that you attempted to evade law enforcement in this matter, as well as the fact you're here on other warrants, you do have a bond. That's a $2,500 secured appearance bond. Your 4 other cases are all warrants that were issued out of justice courts, and it looks like you have...
Thank you for that, David. What up, Cha-Cha?
3 different justice courts that we need to address here. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the 2 matters that are out of the Moon Valley Justice Court. So in each of those cases, you have an arraignment hearing now set May 7 at 8:30, and in each of those matters, the bond and their warrants have been affirmed. So the first one was a $500 cash-only appearance bond. The next one is a $500 secured appearance bond. Because I am setting bonds in these justice court matters, I did also appoint the public defender's office for that purpose, for that limited representation regarding the bond issue as required by Rule 6.1. Now, your other matter we have here is from the North Valley Justice Court. So in that case, you have an arraignment hearing May 7 at 8:30 a.m. That'll be at the North Valley Justice Court, and that matter, the bond and the warrant's been affirmed as well, which is $1,044. That is a secured appearance bond as well. So you're going to receive paperwork for each of those 4 matters. You'll actually get paperwork on each individual case. That'll have that in there. But do you have any questions regarding any of them?
Okay, no.
All right. If you want to go ahead and have a seat, looks like your paperwork's ready to go there. All right. So we've got Ms. Candela, and then Eli Del Toro will be up after that.
Definitely a busy
We have
morning
Dulce,
today.
Candela Perez.
If you haven't done so, please do so. Hit that follow button. These are live court appearances, initial appearances in the state of Arizona.
Hi, ma'am. Your full name and date of birth?
And this is Maricopa.
Perez, April 22, 1994.
All right, thank you. You are here for a bench warrant that was issued, which is for failure to appear in
Ooh,
CR
she's tired.
2025-112157. Looks like this was a failure to appear at your sentencing. So in this matter, a
Bad
status
hair
conference
day.
is now set on May 8 at 8:30 a.m. That'll be at the Superior Court in
up, Lori?
downtown Phoenix. And in this case, the bond in your warrant's been affirmed. So that's a $2,500 secured appearance bond. Otherwise, the rest of your release conditions do remain the same. So you'll get that information here in a moment. If you have any
She
questions
got
regarding-
electrocuted.
If you're unable to post the bond, you would remain in custody. You'll be transported over on May 8th. All right, so we've got Mr. Del Toro. After that, it's Isaiah Daner.
Damn. Somebody give her a brush. Did she get her fish kit? Get her little toothbrush and
All
her
right, sir, your
hairbrush.
full name and date of birth?
Eli Mitchell Del Toro, May 25, 2004.
All right, thank you, sir. So you've got 2 separate cases here today. These are both your probation violation warrants. In each of those matters, a petition to revoke's been filed, It alleges a violation of terms 3 and 5 of your probation
No,
term.
no,
So the
no,
public
no.
defender has been appointed to represent you in both cases.
What a wetsuit, man.
You have a revocation arraignment hearing May 8 at 8:30. That'll be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. The bond in each of those warrants has been affirmed. Each of those has a $750 secured appearance bond, so it's $1,500 total for both of them. If you do post bond and are
Somebody
released from
say brush.
custody, you're still on supervised probation. You do still need to abide by all terms. That does include contacting probation within 72 hours.
Morning.
Do you have any
What up,
questions
what up?
regarding that? All right, sir, if you want to go ahead and pick up that paperwork, you can have a seat. We have Isaiah, Dana, and then Tiswan Diggs.
I got no
will be up
excuse
next.
not to brush my my mustache. I got plenty of these here. Not only for myself, but for the
Full name and
dolls.
date of birth?
Isaiah Diener, 6/13/1994.
Thank you, sir. So you are here for two separate matters. Both of these are your probation cases here in Maricopa County. So in each of those matters, there was a petition to revoke filed, looks like several years ago at this point, but it alleges a violation of terms 6, 7, and 8 of your probation term. So the public defender has been appointed. You do have a revocation arraignment hearing May 8 at 8:30. That'll be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix.
Yes.
So in this matter, I did read your notes. I did see that you did self-surrender on the warrants and that you were in contact with probation ahead of time to arrange for that. But I also do have to recognize how long you've been on warrant status, the fact that you weren't even in the state of Arizona for the majority of it. It doesn't sound like you live here at this point, but that's actually beside the point. That wasn't really what I was doing. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to lower your one bond, that was $5,000, down to $250. So you have two $250 bonds.
Hook
okay?
me up.
Secured appearance
Sign
bonds
me
that
up.
are total $500 for both matters.
Yeah.
All right. So if you do postpone and are released, you are still on supervised probation here in Maricopa County, even though you've been on warrant status that whole time. So you do still need to contact probation within 72 hours. Okay?
Okay.
Do you have any questions regarding that?
Nah.
All right, sir. If you want to go ahead and step over and go and pick up that paperwork that's over
That's
there.
my price right
All
there,
right.
for sure.
Thank you, sir. All right, so we have Mr. Diggs and then
Hey, she
Kristen
definitely,
Garcia will be up
she
after
definitely
that.
showed him some love right there. Going from five G nuts to 250 times 2. Damn it, sign me up. Definitely a good time to be committing
All right, sir, your
crimes
full
on
name
the
and date of
run.
birth.
Tiswan Diggs, July 24th, 1990.
All right, thank you, sir. So you're here for a probation violation warrant as well. In your matter, there was a petition to revoke filed alleging a violation of terms 3, 5, and 15 of your probation
15.
term. So the public defender has been appointed. You do have a revocation arraignment hearing May 8 at 8:30. That'll take place at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. And in this matter, the bond in that warrant's been affirmed. This is a $300 secured appearance bond. If you do post that bond and are released from custody, you are still on supervised probation. You do still need to abide by all terms. That includes contacting probation within 72 hours.
So I was on probation?
It depends.
Correct. You are on probation at this time. Okay. Do you have any other questions regarding that?
No.
All right. If you want to go ahead and step over, I'll note that there is a phone number for probation. That'll be provided in there as well. You've already gone through the reinstatement process, so I know
What up,
you know
Nicole?
because you've already gone through probation court just recently.
Wow.
So
I
if you want to go ahead and step over, though, you can go ahead and pick up that paperwork, okay?
He's
All right,
he's
so we've got
totally lost.
Kristen Garcia
He's confused.
And then Summer Fred
He's
will be
like,
up
what do I
next.
do? Where do I go? Where am I? Am I on TikTok? Hold on, I'm going.
All right, sir, your full name and date of birth?
Christian Garcia, 8/24/94.
All right, thank you, sir. So you are here for a probation violation warrant as well. In your matter, it's for a petition to revoke filed alleging a violation of term 13. That's related to your failure to self-surrender. The public defender's office has been appointed. You have a revocation arraignment hearing set May 8 at 8:30. And in that matter, the bond in your warrant's been affirmed, which is a $500 secured appearance bond. And if you do postpone and are released, you are still on supervised probation. You do still need to contact them
thought he
within
was ordering
72 hours.
food.
Do you have any questions regarding that?
Nothing.
All right, sir, if you want to go and
Thank
step
you.
over, go and pick up that paperwork. All right, so we've got
Hey.
Summer, Fred, and after that it'll be Jesse, Romo.
You gotta quit. If you're in court like that, you should definitely not be committing crimes, if you will. If you're here anywhere,
All right, full name and date of birth.
just stop. Just stop it.
All right, you are here for a new case out of Superior Court. So in this matter, the charges that you have here are going to be one count of possession of drug paraphernalia, which was actually submitted as a Class 1 misdemeanor in this case.
Okay.
One count of assault, a Class 3 misdemeanor, and one count of criminal trespass in the third degree. That's also a Class 3 misdemeanor.
Okay.
Those are the counts that I was able to find probable cause on here today.
Okay.
So in this matter, the robbery count that was submitted, I did not find probable cause on. That's because
wow.
it was an allegation of an attempted robbery, which was not submitted that way. So it doesn't mean that that felony count is going away. They did not submit it the way that they had presented the probable cause. So you still might have that robbery charge down the road. The Public Defender's Office has been appointed. You have a status conference set May 8th with a
20,000?
preliminary hearing May 12th, both at
Not that
8:30. That's
robbery.
going to be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix.
Okay.
We did receive a written recommendation from the
What
state
up,
in this
big
matter, requesting a very substantial bond. That's a $50,000 secured appearance bond.
Okay.
Understanding your current financial situation, but also mainly because I've only found probable cause on the
Okay.
alleged misdemeanor charges that were brought in today, since they submitted that drug paraphernalia as a misdemeanor. I am only doing a $500 secured appearance bond in this matter.
That's
So
it?
you still have orders here that you are not to return to the scene of the offense. You are not to have any contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness in this matter. Do you have any questions regarding that?
No.
All right, if you want to go and step over, you can go and pick up that paperwork that's over there.
Okay.
Hey, she's definitely in a
All
good
right,
mood.
So we've got Jesse Romero.
I don't know
or
what happened
Jesse
to her
Romo.
last night, but she's definitely in a giving mood today. She's giving a lot of quebradas, a lot of
After that,
breaks
Timothy Hines.
and whatnot, if
All
you
right, sir,
will.
your full name and date of birth.
Jesse Mateo Leticia V, August 4th, 1992.
All right, thank you, sir.
What
So
up,
you've got
Jesse?
two separate cases here today. The first one is going to be your warrant that was issued out of the Kyrene Justice Court. That's going to be in their case, JC 2023-150199. In that matter, an arraignment hearing
he's a
been set
yawner.
on May 7 at
He's a
8:30.
yawner.
That's
Ooh,
at
that's
the
a long one.
Kyrene Justice Court. Since it's the second failure to appear warrant
tired.
issued in
So
this matter,
tired.
I've affirmed the bond in their warrant, which is a $100 secured appearance bond.
Get your
Since I did
arms off
affirm
of
the
my
bond set in
podium.
this matter, I did also appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you for that issue only.
Oh.
That is required pursuant to Rule
Stretchy now.
6.1. So your next matter that you have here is the new case you were just brought in on. This is for a new case out of Superior Court.
Straight on my back.
And the charge there that I found probable cause on is one count of criminal trespass in the third degree,
my
which is a
eyes.
Class 3
With my
misdemeanor.
eyes.
There are two additional counts that I did not find probable cause on. That's for possession of dangerous drugs and possession of drug paraphernalia. It doesn't necessarily mean those charges are going away, but I was not provided with sufficient information to
Yeah.
proceed on them today. The Public Defender's Office has been appointed there as well. You have a status conference May 8 with a preliminary hearing May 12, both at 8:30.
Are they in custody?
You have a $50
Thank you
bond
for
in
that
this
daily heart.
matter.
I'm mad
So
now.
you've got two bonds in this matter, or in these two cases,
spilled my
$100 and a
coffee.
$50 bond. Those
When
would
you
have to be
lifted
posted
your
prior
arm.
to release.
Or I'll stay until next week.
If you're unable to post the bonds, then you'll remain in custody till those next court dates at least, and the judges from there will make all the further determinations. All right? All right, so we've got Timothy Hines and then Christopher Campos will be up next.
Next on The Price is Wrong. Let's see what kind of cases we got today. What do you guys think? DV, shoplifting at Circle K, maybe a little DUI, if you will.
All right, so your full name and date of birth.
Timothy Hines, 2/6/1966.
All right, sir, you're here for a warrant that was issued for a direct complaint that's been filed. So in that matter, there is one count of possession of narcotic drugs, Class 4 felony, with the offense date of October 4 of 2024. So the public defender has been appointed. You have a status conference set on May 8 at 8:30 with a preliminary hearing May 12th at 8:30. Those will be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. I know you've already got some other holds in place that you're already in
Another.
custody for. I think you were just here the other day. So
The
in
other
this matter,
day.
I've gone
He's
ahead
a
and
frequent
done that
flyer.
$50 placeholder bond. That way, if you don't post those other bonds, they know you're in custody in this case as well. That just does ensure that you get transported to your court dates and also could impact your credit for time served down the road if that becomes an issue for you. Do you have any questions regarding that?
What is this, Kate? What is this for?
This is for a possession of narcotic drugs from October
What up,
4 of
Lori?
2024. So a direct complaint has now been filed for that charge. It looks like this direct complaint was just filed.
Jessica, hopefully you didn't get
Okay.
on your keyboard
Any
or
other
phone.
questions?
No.
All right, if you want to go and step over, you can go and pick up that paperwork that's over there. All right, we have Christopher Campos, Branton Van will be up next.
Damn, James, you're messed up. James, how dare you put these people? I didn't get them arrested. I didn't put this online. I'm just sharing the views.
Hi, Mr. Campos, go and state your full name and date of birth.
Christopher David Campos, 5985.
All right, sir, you are here for a new case out of Superior Court that is alleging 1 count of possession of dangerous drugs, that's a Class 4 felony, and 1 count of possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony, 1 count of criminal trespass in the 3rd degree, which is a Class 3 misdemeanor.
Is he falling asleep
So in
or
this
nodding
matter,
out?
the Public Defender's Office has been appointed to represent you. You do have a status conference set on May 16 with a preliminary hearing May 20, both at 8:30. Those will be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. In this case, I am going to be following the PSA recommendation. You are being released, but it will be subject to the supervision of pretrial services. So in your paperwork that you're going to be receiving here in just a moment, you'll get some additional information regarding pretrial services. It does include their contact information because you have to stay checked in with them while on release.
Okay.
Do you have any questions about that?
No, ma'am.
All right, if you want to go and step over, you can go and pick up that paperwork then. We've got Mr. Van and then Jonathan Sosa up after that.
Man, it's definitely a busy morning. Everybody got picked up. Was it a crash unit last night? Thursday night? Everybody got picked
All right,
up.
sir, your full name and date of birth.
Branch and Van, 12/14/1990.
All right, thank you, sir. So you're here for a new case out of Superior Court. In your matter, the charges are 1 count of possession of narcotic drugs, Class 4 felony, and 1 count of possession of drug paraphernalia, that's a Class 6 felony. The Public Defender's Office has been appointed to represent you. You do currently have a status conference set May 16 with a preliminary hearing May 20, both at 8:30, and those will be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. So in this matter, I am going to be following the PSA recommendation here. You are being released on your own recognizance. It is going to be your promise to appear at all future court dates. Do you have any questions regarding that? All right. If you want to go and step over, that information will be included in that paperwork you're going to be receiving as well. We've got Mr. Sosa. After that, it's going to be Gregory Gibbs.
My heart goes out to you people that live in Maricopa or Arizona. Man, it's definitely rough out there, if you will. I thought we had it bad in L.A. We got zombies and
date of birth.
it's all bad, but Jesus.
March 21st, 2002.
All right, sir. You are here for a new case out of Superior Court. This is alleging 2 counts of aggravated assault, Class 3 felony, 2 counts of disorderly conduct, and 4 total counts of disorderly conduct. Those are all Class 1 misdemeanors. 1 count of criminal damage, Class 2 misdemeanor, and 2 counts of assault as a Class 3 misdemeanor. So in this matter, the Public Defender's Office has been appointed. You have a status conference set May 16 with a preliminary hearing May 20, both at 8:30. Those are going to be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. I did receive a written recommendation from the state requesting a $25,000 secured appearance bond based on the nature of the offense that you're here for, specifically that aggravated assault charge. I'm aware that you have fairly limited criminal history. I think you just had 1 misdemeanor charge from last year, but I do have to also weigh the nature of the offense that you're here for.
You better
Given
your
history or your lack thereof, I'm going to give you a shot to appear at your next court date on your own and be released from custody. I'm just going to be very clear with you on your release conditions.
Yes, ma'am.
You are going to be released subject to the supervision of pretrial services. You have to remain checked in with them while you're on release on this matter. You are not to return to the scene of the offense. You are not to have any contact whatsoever with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness. I don't even think you knew the individuals involved in this matter.
Amen.
You are not to possess any weapons whatsoever while you're on release. If you do have any contact with the alleged victim in this matter, that would be considered a violation of your release order. That could constitute aggravated harassment, which is a Class 6 felony. If you come in here on any new felony offense while being on felony release, you would be non-bailable at that point. All right, any questions regarding that?
I like that.
Just about the pretrial services. So right after this, do I just talk to them?
They're going to give you some written instructions there. You just need to make sure you look at those written instructions and follow that.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, go and step over. All right, so we have Gregory Gibbs, and we've got Brandon Gibbs up after that.
Up next on The Price is Wrong. Let's see what it is. Damn, they're definitely going strong. We're 45 minutes in right now.
All right,
I showed up a little bit
date
late.
of birth.
Gregory Lamar Gibbs.
Is he in pajamas?
June 25th, 1995.
All right, so you're here for two separate cases. I'm going to start with the new case. This will be out of the Peoria Municipal Court. It's for 1 count of criminal damage, a Class 2 misdemeanor. An attorney will be appointed to represent you in this matter since it is considered to be a domestic violence offense in nature, but that's going to be handled by the Peoria Municipal Court. So they'll address that at your next court date out there. That's going to be an arraignment hearing May 22nd at 9 a.m. at that court. So in this matter, I do recognize your otherwise lack of any other similar history. Hold on one moment.
Take your time, Your Honor. Take your time. Justice doesn't move so quickly. We understand. And I know a lot of you guys are from across the pond, so this might be new to you guys. But yeah, this is how some places. This is not all the U.S. Only certain states
Sorry, that's one thing that I hadn't reviewed
their
yet,
court
which I've now
hearings.
reviewed. So in this
TV.
matter, I am going to be releasing you on your own recognizance. That is going to be your promise to appear.
Thank you for that.
But given the nature of the offense, I'll be very clear with your order as well. You are not to have any contact whatsoever with the alleged victim in this matter, not until further court order at least. If she is still residing at the shared residence, you cannot return there. You cannot reside with her. And even if it is your residence that you rent or own, if she is still residing there, you cannot return to that location.
But Your Honor, I pay
An
rent.
alternate residence.
It's mine.
A violation of a no
Not
victim
today.
contact order and a criminal release order would constitute aggravated harassment, and that is a Class 6 felony. If you come in here on a new felony offense while being on felony release, and you're about to be because you've got a direct
How much
complaint
stuff
here,
is there, Your Honor?
you would be held non-bondable at that point. Okay?
Understandable.
All right, so your next matter that you have here is going to be for a warrant that was
Thank you for that.
issued for the direct complaint that was filed. That's for one count of aggravated DUI Class 4 felony with an offense date of September 19 of 2023.
Damn, he got
So
2
in
out of
that
3
matter,
already.
Public defender's been appointed. You have a status conference set May 16, preliminary hearing May 20, both at 8:30. And in that case, since I don't show you received notice of the summons that was initially sent out prior to the warrant being issued, I am going to follow the PSA recommendation. You are being released on your own recognizance in that matter as well, which is, again, your promise to appear.
Okay.
Do you have any questions regarding that?
No, ma'am.
All right, if you want to go and step over, you can go ahead and pick up that
Damn, I
paperwork.
thought
That'll
he
have
was
all
to be
your
a
information in it
trifecta.
as well. Thank you, sir.
I thought they were going to say he had a shoplifting case too.
And after that, it'll be Timothy Heidelberg.
Hey, 2 out of 3? He's definitely a winner there. He's out.
All right, Mr. Gibbs, go and state your full name and date of birth.
Brandon Marcel Gibbs, 12/10/89.
All right, sir. So you've got 3 separate cases here today. I'm going to start with the new one that just came in. This is going to be for a new case out of Superior Court. So this is alleging 1 count of burglary in the 2nd degree and 1 count of possession of narcotic drugs. I was not able to find probable cause on the 2 charges that were submitted here today. This does not mean that those charges are going away.
What up, Nikki?
Okay? I was not
up,
provided with sufficient information to find those particular charges. Okay? So in this matter, the Public Defender's Office has been appointed. You do still have court dates here. That's a status conference May 16 with a preliminary hearing May 20, both at 8:30. Those will be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. Because I was not able to find probable cause on the charges submitted, I can't set release conditions. So you're being released without any conditions being imposed in this matter. So I just want to warn you that if they do end up filing a complaint in this matter, those charges go forward, and you fail to appear at that next court date on May 16, then a warrant could issue for you. I do recommend contacting the court in advance just to verify the status of that hearing. You do also have your 2 probation matters here, okay? So each of those are here because there was a Term 1 violation added. So it was related to the charges that you were here for. Okay?
Right.
Because I was not able to find probable cause on those charges, I can't find probable cause on the Term 1s that have been submitted. So in that matter, then, it's the same thing. I'm still appointing counsel to represent you. That'll be through the Public Defender's Office. You do still have a hearing set. That's going to be May 8 at 8:30. But again, because I'm not able to find probable cause, I can't set any release conditions there either, so you are being released without any conditions.
Hey, this is the 3rd Gibbs already,
any
right?
Any questions regarding that?
So do I need to contact my PO?
You do need to contact your PO. So you've had police contact, okay? So under your probation terms, you do need to contact probation within 72 hours if you're on standard.
Okay.
Okay?
Now,
Right.
if I'm in treatment, because I plan on going back into treatment, how do I go about my court situation?
Stay in contact with your probation officer, okay, if there's any problems with those court dates.
Okay.
All right? And also, I do recommend contacting the court in advance to see that probation hearing might very well go forward, though, that May 8 probation hearing. So just make sure you stay in contact with probation.
Thank
Okay?
you.
All right.
Next!
All right, so Timothy Heidelberg.
All right, there it is. They broke the record right there. No more Gibbs. We're Gibless.
All right, sir, your full name and date of birth.
Timothy Heidelberg, 09/16/2001.
All right, you said 160916. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So you are here for a fugitive of justice warrant. This is for a warrant that was issued out of the state of New Jersey. New Jersey was notified that you were picked up on that warrant and did both confirm the warrant as well as extradition in your matter. So were you given that laminated sheet and have an opportunity to take a look at it?
Yes, Mom.
All right. Basically what that is, that's the waiver of extradition language. So that's if you choose to go that direction here, because you're going to have to sign off on it, okay?
What didn't he do?
Now I'm going to go through the two options that you have here today, and then I'll see if you have any questions about them, okay?
Okay.
All right, so your first option is you could choose to waive extradition and return to the state of New Jersey on this warrant.
What
When
option
you do
should he
that,
do?
you're saying, New Jersey,
One
come
or
pick
two?
me up, I'm ready to come back. If you go that route, you would have no further hearings here in Maricopa County for this case.
Still helps. For sure.
You would also be held non-bailable in the Maricopa County Jail until New Jersey comes to pick you up on that warrant. So you'd remain in custody till you're picked up. New Jersey, in turn, would have 30 days starting tomorrow to pick you up. Now, that 30-day time frame starts tomorrow unless you have any local open cases. I'm not aware of any, but if you do, the 30-day time frame would not start until after the local open case
You're welcome,
concludes.
JC.
Okay? Otherwise, if you don't have any, then it's just the 30 days. All right?
Hey,
All right,
thank
so
you,
that's
Lori.
if you choose to waive extradition to return to New Jersey. Your other option is you can choose not to waive extradition, at least not at this time. You'll be given the same option down the road if you choose to go this route. So if you choose not to waive extradition here today, I'd be setting a fugitive of justice or extradition hearing on May 12th at 1:30 p.m. That would be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix in front of the commissioner who handles our extradition matters. Now, I can't appoint an attorney to represent you at that hearing because the actual extradition case is a civil proceeding. Even though it's a criminal case back in New Jersey, extradition proceedings are civil. You do have the right to retain an attorney on your own behalf to represent you in this matter, and I'll also note there are sometimes public defenders present at those hearings who can provide assistance. There's just no guarantee of that. Now, in that case, you would be bailable.
What up, Nikki?
So you would have a $25,000 secured appearance bond. That's the amount you'd have to post in order to be released prior to that hearing on May 12th, okay? Now, the process there, if you choose not to waive extradition, is that a governor's warrant has to be signed by the governors of both states, so of both New Jersey and Arizona, in order to extradite you back there. And that process can take up to 90 days. That's the time frame they have to execute the warrant, okay? All right, so do you have any questions regarding your two choices that you have here today?
Not really, Your Honor, but whenever I was arrested, they told me that the warrants was out of Louisiana.
Is that the warrant what?
The warrants was out of Louisiana.
I'll double check. I believe it was New Jersey, but let me double check and make sure that I'm not incorrect. Yeah, this indicates Burlington County, New Jersey. Okay? So if you do have warrants out of Louisiana that they located, that's completely separate from this one. Okay? Yeah, but this one's indicating it's out of New Jersey. All right. Any other questions, though?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Do you know how you want to proceed here today?
No sé.
Yeah,
I don't
the
know.
option that's available.
Okay, so you want to go ahead and set that extradition hearing then?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll set that hearing for you on May 12th at 1:30 p.m. So in that matter, you do have a $25,000 secured appearance bond. We're going to get you some paperwork that'll have all your information as well, including your hearing date and stuff, but do you have any questions before you go have a seat?
No, Your Honor.
All right, if you want to go and have a seat, we've got to print that paperwork out and we'll get it out to you.
Thank you.
Next. Damn, I wouldn't want to be in custody right now at 44 years old. Hell nah. Got time for that. Jeez. Crime in Jersey, Louisiana, and Arizona. That's right. Gotta keep it moving, you know. Can't stay in one place too long. You see, do you think he's gonna
All right, I'll go
bond
ahead and
out?
put our house calls on record before we call our last two matters. I'm going to start with Janice.
Oh no, the last two matters. You know what that means, guys.
Date of birth 1/17 of
gonna be all bad.
2004. I show she has a house call due to being announced with danger to self. She's here for a new case out of Superior Court alleging one count of theft of means of transportation, class 3 felony, one count of theft of credit card, a class 5 felony, one count of unlawful use of means of transportation, class 5,
Why is
one
she
count of
talking and
aggravated
nobody's
assault, class
standing
5,
there?
and one count of fraudulent use of a credit card as a class 1 misdemeanor. Those are the counts I was able to find probable cause on. I did not find probable cause for the second count of theft of means under A1, and I did not find probable cause for unlawful use of a means of transportation as a passenger. The public defender has been appointed.
She's talking, but
His
I don't
status
see
conference is set May
nobody.
8 with a preliminary hearing May 12, both at 8:30. She's got a $2,500 secured appearance bond. Next matter is going to be for Sean Reichard, date of birth 11/9 of 2002. I show he is a house call due to being danger to others. He's here for a new case out of Superior Court alleging one count of possession of dangerous drugs and one count of possession of narcotic drugs, both class 4 felonies. Public defenders been
zoom in?
appointed.
I can't see
Status
nobody.
conference is set May 8 and with a preliminary hearing May 12th, both at 8:30. In this matter, he's got a $50 bond because he will have a bond in his probation case. Probation matter is here for a term 1 violation. Public defender is appointed there as well. Revocation arraignment hearing May 8 at 8:30. In that matter, there is a $500 secured appearance bond. Jamie Farmer, date of birth 9/6/80. I show she has a house call due to being refusing orders. She's here for a bench warrant that was issued for failure to appear in CR 2022-125161-002. Status conference set May 8. Preliminary hearing May 12, both at 8:30. She has a cash-only appearance bond in the amount of $500. Brandon Yazzie, date of birth 4/28/86. I show he has a house call today due to being intoxicated, so otherwise being unable to function. He's here for a new case out of Superior Court alleging 1 count of aggravated assault of classified
Hey,
felony.
don't forget to
Public
hit that
defender
follow
appointed.
button.
Status
It's
conference
free.
set May 8. Preliminary hearing May 12th, both at 8:30, and there's a $500 bond in that matter. All right, I show we are now to our last matters that we have here. We'll go ahead and call David Brzezinski, since I know the state wants to appear in that matter.
Ooh, the state's here. Hey, just to give you a heads up, this is probably gonna be bad.
Right?
So if you ever had any trauma in your life, you're probably gonna want to step out. I wouldn't want to bring up any old memories.
So go and state your full name and date of birth.
David Brzezinski, 651.
All right.
Oh, yeah, he looks like
you are
one.
here for a new case out of Superior
Oh, yeah.
Court. We do have the state appearing today as well. We could go and do that appearance.
Thank you, Your Honor. Brooke, on behalf of the
Definitely
state.
questionable.
All right. So, sir, you are here for 6 counts of sexual conduct with a minor, which is a Class 2 felony. These has a date of offense on or around June 1st, 2024. So in this matter, an attorney has been appointed to represent you. Your court dates are going to be a status conference May 8th, preliminary hearing May 12th, both at 8:30. That's going to be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. So I am aware that you are currently on felony release for basically the same charge, but with a different set of dates of offense. And it did not appear as though he was on felony release in this matter at the time.
Well, and Your Honor, so the Form 4 indicates that for the new charges, that the dates of offense go from June 1st of 2024
What is it smiling for?
Into April of 2025. However, the Form 4 does not specify a specific date. I believe he was had his initial appearance in that other case, I believe on August 14th, sounds correct to me, of 2024. So I could certainly see, I think pretrial services believed that he was non-bondable, but I did see how the court may have some concern because it doesn't specify a date of offense. If the court is not inclined to hold him non-bondable at this time, we would ask for a $150,000 cash-only bond and then electronic monitoring as well as no contact with any minors.
All right. And I did see that because it was unclear as to how long the time frame was, since the only time frame that was specifically noted for that contact was prior to his IA in the other matter. And I know it appeared as though they were doing follow-up and doing further interviews in 2025. I just couldn't tell if it was for conduct that occurred closer to that date or not. So I'm going to err on the side of caution in this matter. All right, Mr. Brzezinski, since I am doing that, that does mean I do have to set a bond in your case. But given the fact that you're here on basically the same charge that you're already currently out on release for at this time, I do believe that the bond that's been requested is very appropriate. You do have a $150,000 cash-only appearance bond. If you were to be released, it would still be subject to the supervision of pretrial services with electronic monitoring as required by Arizona law for this charge. You're also going to be ordered not to have any contact whatsoever with the alleged victim in this matter, or any complainant or witness in this case, and you are still ordered not to have contact with any minors. All right, so we'll get you that paperwork here in a moment. Do you have any questions regarding that?
On this paper that I got, my social security number is wrong.
Okay, let your attorney know about that, okay? So that'll be, because that's what the information the jail has. You can let them know about that too, but it's not anything I can do anything with for that, okay? All right. All right, if you want to go and step over though, you can go and have a seat.
May I be excused?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, and then we'll have Mr. Martinez step in. All right, sir, go and state your full name and date of birth.
Arthur Edward Martinez, 10471.
All right, thank you, sir. So you're here for a grand jury warrant that was issued. This is for an indictment that's been filed that alleges 1 count of failing to register and 1 count, it's actually both related to the failure to register. The other one's, though, the ID that you need to get. So one's a Class 4 felony, one's a Class 6. Date of offense there is October 29 of 2021 and March 3rd of 2020. So the Public Defender's Office has been appointed. Arraignment hearing is set May 9 at 8:30 a.m. at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. Given the timing of this, given how long ago that the actual offenses allegedly occurred, and taking into account the underlying offense, the actual age of that, which I know has been probably about 30 years or so.
Right.
You are going to be released at this time, but it is going to be subject to the supervision of pretrial services with electronic monitoring, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So you're going to get that information here in a moment. If you have any questions regarding it.
I was currently trying to receive some services and get some employment as last few days. So I've been trying to get my, this rolling instead of that, you know what I mean, which is everywhere out there. And so with that being said, I just got a lot of things going on up in here. Definitely not that, you know what I mean? And I want to get my life over and you know what I mean, started and get it together, you know what I mean? Because I got mother out there, and she needs me as well. My father passed away. My brother passed away. So I just got mama, and I need to get out there and, kick some butt and take care of her, and just really, appreciate some understanding and consideration that, it is getting crazy out there every second, every day.
I don't know what he did, but
I'm ready to pack my ship up.
All right, my biggest piece of advice then is just to make sure you comply, okay? Make sure you show up for these court dates.
Always.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Release? What'd he do? Failure to register? Oh, yeah, that's all bad right there.
All right, you want me to go ahead and come around now for the house calls? Yeah, it looks like we're already going. All right, thanks, Martha.
All right, it's over. So right now, I'm actually, I wanted to do poke, but it looks like it hasn't started yet. So we'll go ahead and go to, Pima right now. Pima should be starting up or started already. Let me see here. What time is this? 9 o'clock. All right. As a matter of fact, let me check. James, it's 9:02. How come it hasn't started yet? I don't control these things, man. I just show up. Well, you should be providing a better service if you're gonna be doing this. Yeah, whatever. Let's see here. Yeah, well, this is where I come. I rely on you to look at these streams. Well, yeah, we're all at the mercy of the court, if you will. You gotta be reasonable here. Come on, people. If you haven't done so, please do so. Hit the follow button. Let's see here. Hey, thank you. I think is that me or Mo? Thank you for hitting that follow. Let me check if we got some poke. I do like poke, so hopefully, I think normally poke starts about 9:30 or so. So, but what I'll do is I'll get it going on the back burner over here, so like that if it does pop up, if you will, pop. There it is. Oh, and there we go.
Good morning, everyone.
All right.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Buenos dias, Your Honor.
Morning, Judge.
Is this live? Is this live? I can't see him. I can't see nobody. Is this live? Where are we?
Is everyone ready to begin?
Hell yeah, Judge. We are. What up, Taurus?
Ready to go.
Thank you. All right. Sir, please state your name.
Gonna do white video.
My boy's gonna be on there. Hey, don't forget to tell him to give us a
Mr.
shout
Odell,
out.
this is the time for your initial appearance. You are here this morning on charges of aggravated assault on a corrections officer. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. I am going to appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you, and you do have counsel seated next to you for the purposes of today's hearing. At today's hearing, we are going to discuss your conditions of release, And I have reviewed the state's recommendation that you be held on a bond of $15,000 and if released to pretrial services.
He's going to
I have
prison.
also reviewed
But he's already
the
in
interim
prison,
complaint
James.
and information provided about you from pretrial services. It's further my understanding that you are being held on a bond in another matter that is not before me this morning. So regardless of what I ordered in this case, you would remain in custody until that case was resolved. Would the state like to be heard further on its recommendation?
No, Judge.
Defense?
Judge, notwithstanding the characterization of this assault as brutal, and I do understand that the CO did end up going to the hospital, the interim complaint says that he had some bleeding in his mouth. And so the injuries sustained do not seem to be particularly serious. Mr. Odell is already in custody, as the court noted. $15,000 is absolutely not necessary to keep him, maintain him not a risk to the community. And so I'd ask that you impose no more than a $2,000 bond.
Thank you.
Yeah, he put hands on. That's why his bond is so high, and that's why they got him cuffed too. I don't know. I'm sure you guys noticed he has his hands behind his back, and it's not because he's hiding his arms. They probably cuffed him up for the safety of himself, the safety of the institution, and the safety of everybody. Can't be having people, having them put hands on the CLs. They don't want it. Imagine the flashlight treatment they gave him.
I'm going to order a bond of $5,000, cash or secured. If released, you'll be released to pretrial services. You'll be ordered to submit to monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial services. No alcohol or illegal drugs, no firearms or weapons, no contact with the alleged victim. And your next court date will be May 12th at 1:30. That's for a preliminary hearing, so it's possible that hearing will not go forward.
But Your Honor, I got plans. My daughter, she's graduating. Can't miss that. He ain't going nowhere. Thank you for the follow, Life.
And then, sir, if you were to be released and then fail to appear for court, a warrant could issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
I'm going to take care of this whole thing right here. I'm going to make everybody believe in me like the way they do in Maricopa County and everything.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Thank you. Your excuse.
I wonder how he plans to take care of that. I don't see a remedy to that there, if you will, but what do I know? He assaulted a CO. Hey, thank you for that daily heart. Highly appreciate that. Who says that? I'm going to take care of that.
And I have been informed that Mr. Jones, listed
What's up,
as
Tiffany?
number 1 on the list, is not available, so I will continue him
Who
to
says
the
that?
evening session.
What's up with this baldy lax? But James, you're about to.
Good morning. Please state your name.
Victor Flores.
Innocent till proven guilty. That's just something they say. That come on, we know the court system don't work like that. Hey, what up, Linda? Innocent till proven guilty. What do you think this is? An episode of Law and Order? Innocent till proven. That's like believing in the Tooth Fairy.
Mr. Flores, this is the time for your initial appearance. You are here this morning on a couple of different matters. You have there was a felony warrant issued for murder in the second degree.
Yeah,
you
they
also
do.
have
Straight up, I really
some
know
misdemeanor cases out of Tucson City Court, which include making a false report to law enforcement.
You could have put a disclaimer to
And
protect yourself.
Operating on the sidewalk.
Hey, thank you for that daily heart.
You have the right to remain silent on all of these matters. Anything you say can and will be used against
some
you.
static coming
You have the
from
right
your
to be represented by an attorney. I am appointing the Public Defender's Office to represent you. You have counsel seated next to you for the purposes of today's hearing. And at today's hearing, we are going to discuss your conditions of release. I have reviewed information provided by pretrial services. I have reviewed the warrant that was issued.
Proving guilty. That's right. Why? Hey, well, you know what? This is not even real. This is AI generated.
And I have reviewed the state's recommendation for a bond of $1 million. And if you are able to post that bond, that you be released to the custody of pretrial services. Would the state like to be heard further?
Your Honor, this is a murder charge. It has always been the state's position that somebody accused of murder presents a dire threat to the community, and therefore $1 million is entirely appropriate.
Thank you.
And defense?
Judge, this court has no information concerning the nature and circumstances of the allegations here, since you have no interim complaint. Mr. Flores indicates he's homeless. He was not able to provide an emergency contact. The only history documented is a possible case out of Texas from 2019. There is documented mental health issues. I'd ask that you impose no more than a $30,000.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's fine.
Would the state like to present any information from the interim complaint?
Certainly, Your Honor. Let me pull that back up. A moment. To get the correct number, forgive me.
Damn, Baldy Lex, he's definitely with the business, for lack of a better word. Did they say $1 million? Yeah, they gave him $1 million bond, $30K for release.
Checking.
Mega Mind. Howdy, Jays. What's up, Teresa? He's down. Baldy Lex. James, how dare you say that? But you're bald too, James. Your hair, if you grew it out, it'll probably grow the same. You're absolutely right.
Here it is. One moment.
They must not have an interim report. Mr. Clean. Howdy. What up? What else? What's up, Lindsay? How's it going?
Your Honor, this is on a warrant. Felony warrant 25-00039-FW. Issued 4/28. The offense date is 4/25. Lists $1 million bond, and I'm looking for the narrative in PDK. Give me one moment. I apologize in advance for the delay.
Man, come on, get it together right here. What kind of UPN operation are you guys running back there? You knew this guy was gonna come. He popped up on your desk. He took somebody's life, or allegedly took somebody's life. What'd he do? Yeah.
I'm sorry. One moment.
Thank you. While you're looking for it, I'll go ahead and address the other items.
I got two streams on YT.
I'll determine the bond amount in just a moment.
Which reminds me.
Whatever the amount is, the order will be that if you are able to post that bond, you'll be released to pretrial services, monitoring or treatment directed by pretrial services, no alcohol or illegal drugs, no firearms or weapons, surrender any firearms that are in your possession, do not return to the incident location, do not initiate contact of any kind with the victim's family, and your next court date will be on May 12th at 1:30.
Your Honor, I have the information now.
Thank you.
On the date mentioned, a citizen called 911 to report a male suffering gunshot trauma behind a business near the Riverwalk path. Police and EMS responded, found a victim with gunshot trauma to the torso. He was transported but died shortly thereafter. And investigators processed the scene, blood evidence, 9mm cartridges, etc. And investigators spoke with victims' brothers, and there was a phone. It was pinged. Officers conducted field interviews. there was a moment.
Just take your time. I mean, you already.
There were text messages stating that a person later identified as the victim was, quote, in trouble the night of the shooting. And investigation later revealed that the place where the defendant usually stays is nearby to the site, and cell phone records also placed him in the area, as well as in a dispute with the decedent. And there was an altercation that ensued. And during the course of this altercation, the defendant allegedly shot the victim, who, as I mentioned later, passed away.
Thank you. So at this time, I am going to affirm the bond amount that was on the warrant that issued of $1 million. Sir, if you did happen to be released and then failed to appear for your court date, a warrant could issue for your arrest. And then we're going to turn to your city court matters. And let's see.
That's so crazy. I mean, the way
I'm just going to impose a bond of $250 cash or secured in those matters. Your next court date will be May 9th at 1:45 for a video review. If you were to be released, your court date would be June 3rd instead of May 9th. And if you fail to appear, a warrant can issue for your arrest. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You're excused.
It's crazy, like that people are out there committing these type of crimes where they got cameras everywhere, people got cell phones, all this stuff could be, it's trackable, traceable. How dare you think that you're gonna get away with something like that?
Please state your name.
Sherilyn Franco.
Arizona, Pima County, if you will, Tucson, to be exact. Video of footage, yep. Everybody records nowadays. You can't get away with anything unless like you're in the middle of the desert with no signal. But
Sherilyn Alderman is my maiden name. I think
people
that's
are
what
quick
I'm
with their phones.
booked under.
Thank you. Thank you.
Just get a little jobby
Which
job
name do you
somewhere
prefer to go by?
Alderman is fine.
Great, Ms. Alderman, this is the time for your initial
No, she's
appearance.
my
You are
ex.
here this morning on charges of aggravated assault, flight from law enforcement, and endangerment. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney, and I am appointing the Public Defender's Office to represent you. You have counsel seated with you for the purposes of today's hearing. At today's hearing, we are going to discuss your conditions of release. I have reviewed the state's recommendation that you be held on a bond of $1,500 and released to pretrial services. If you are able to post that bond, I have also reviewed information from pretrial services about you, and the state like to be heard further about its recommendation.
No, Judge.
And defense.
Judge, Ms. Alderman has no history. She is affiliated with the Air Force. Mr. Poston indicates in his recommendation that one reason for a bond is that she could deploy. We have no information indicating that Ms. Alderman Franco is in a position where she might deploy. And certainly service to our nation is not a reason that she should be held on bond. So I'd ask that you release her on her own recognizance.
She was in a red car and pulled over in Fry Shopping Center. Oh, so she's in the military. Dang. She might be hitting the brig, if you will. I think that's what it's called. Damn it. You can't be catching cases while you're in a contract with the government. That's definitely frowned upon, if you will. No wonder she took off. She was gone like the wind. She's about to deploy.
Ma'am, I am going to give you a chance to be released to pretrial services. You will be ordered to submit to any monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial services. You may not possess alcohol or illegal drugs. You may not drive if your driver's license has been impacted and you don't have a valid driver's license. You may not have any contact with the alleged victim. Do not return. Do not go to their residence or workplace.
Oh, dishonorably.
Your next court date will be May 22nd at 1:30 in the afternoon. That's at Pima County Justice Court for a preliminary hearing.
Hello, everyone that just logged in. Is everyone here for an adult first appearance?
Stay in touch with your attorney.
Oh shit, hold on.
If you do fail to appear,
I see Flores.
a warrant can issue for your arrest.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Is everyone here for first appearance for an adult?
Thank you. You're
Hold up.
Like you muted.
What's that?
Hey, let me ask you guys something. Do you guys want to?
What did you say?
Do you guys want to stay here, or do you guys want to go to? Do you guys want to go to
Are you here
Polk?
for an adult for first appearance?
Hold on.
Yes.
Okay, we're not going to start the adults until 1 o'clock.
So
instead of you staying on, if you want to log out, log back in right around 1, that would work. Also, James Flores, Jess, and Anaya, are y'all all here for the same thing?
Oh snap! They say James Flores. Hold on.
TJ.
Hold on. Hold on. Let me let.
TJ. TJ.
If y'all are here for an adult for first appearance, just log out and log back in at right around 1 o'clock.
Log back in about 1 o'clock.
I think everyone here for an adult first appearance?
Yes, I am. This is James Flores. Yes, I'm here for. I'm just an observer, but yeah. So come back at 1.
Yes, come back at 1. There's no sense in being on here this whole time. So
okay, thank you.
At 1.
I appreciate that.
That's why we just let you on. We were doing our child support hearing. So just come back closer to 1.
Okay, thank you, officer. I really appreciate that.
You're welcome.
All right, have a good
one. Anaya. Okay. Thank you.
We'll be back at 1. We'll be back at 1. All right. We're back to our regular schedule.
Please state your name, sir. I'm sorry, the audio cut out. Could you repeat that?
Kenneth Batista.
Thank you, Mr. Batista. This is the time for your initial appearance on a few different misdemeanor matters. It looks like you have
the child support hearings. We want to see the child support.
No talking. Stop talking.
2 charges of shoplifting, 1 charge of theft, 1 charge of criminal trespass, and there's a new one, and then the older ones were in failure to appear status.
Your neighborhood reporter. James, you ain't no reporter.
On all of these charges, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. I am appointing John Illis to represent you. And we're going to talk about your conditions of release today, sir. So based on the failure to appear history, I am going to order a bond in each of these cases. Altogether, they'll come out to $250, but it'll be separate on each case. So on the first shoplifting charge I have up, I'm going to order a bond of $50, cash or secured. If you are able to post that bond, the additional orders are no alcohol or illegal drugs, no contact with the victim of the shoplifting, do not return to that location, and your court date will be on Monday at 1 p.m. And then on the next shoplifting charge, it's going to be the exact same orders and the exact same court date, Monday at 1 p.m. On the
$50?
Yeah, $50 on each charge, except there's one case where there's several charges, and I'm doing $100 on that case, so it'll all come out to $250. Okay?
Right.
So on the theft, the same orders, same court date. And then the one that has the additional charges of possession of drug paraphernalia.
Thank you for that.
In addition to shoplifting and I think criminal trespass is also on this one. I'm going to order $100 cash or secured. All of them are cash or secured. And your next court date will be May 5th at 1 p.m. with Judge Foster at Pima County Justice Court. no alcohol or illegal drugs, no contact with the alleged victims of the shoplifting or criminal trespass. Do not return to those incident locations. And if you were to be released, sir, and then fail to appear for court on Monday, a warrant could issue for your arrest. If you remain in custody, the jail will make you available for the hearing.
Damn, thank you, Lori.
Do you understand?
Appreciate that. Damn, you got us to 30K all by yourself.
Yes, well, when I go to court Monday, maybe I could release then or what?
I don't know for sure.
I did lost permission at Walmart. Hey.
It'll be Judge Foster who makes that decision. All right?
I couldn't do that work.
So long now, we have to be here. Anything.
I didn't understand your question.
How long do I have to be here, if anything?
So I'm ordering that you are held on those bonds. So for my order, you would stay unless you could post those bonds or until the case was resolved and your sentence, if any, was complete. And on Monday, Judge Foster will take another look at the case, and Judge Foster will get to decide whether you are released then or not. Okay?
Yeah.
I work
All right.
for the DA
Thank you.
in
You're
Riverside.
excused.
Oh, Riverside County.
Thank you.
Damn it, man! You guys have the highest rate of DP cases in Riverside, man. If you go to Riverside, you catch a hot one, you're probably gonna end up on the roll, if you will. You got a 10% chance.
Good morning. Please state your name.
Hello, Gillette.
Mr. Gillette, this is the time for your initial appearance. You are here this morning on charges of assault and disorderly conduct. Those are domestic violence charges.
Why? Drop one,
You have the
flush
right
one.
to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire an attorney of your choice, and in certain circumstances, an attorney may be appointed on your behalf.
Misdemeanor. FTA failure appears.
We're going to talk about your conditions of release this morning, and I have reviewed the probable cause statement provided by law enforcement, and I have reviewed information from pretrial services.
Pretrial services. Hey, thank you, Survivor. Highly appreciate that. I appreciate all of you guys that are in here that are tapping, dropping comments.
Sir, if I
sharing.
were to order that you were released on your promise to appear for your future court dates, but that you could have no contact with the alleged victims in this case, would you be able to abide by that release condition and would you appear for your next court date?
Gotta get to work.
Yeah.
Okay. Were you living in the same place as the alleged victims?
I do have one.
I have
just
places
haven't been streaming on it.
Go with feet times.
Okay. So I am going to order that you're released on your promise to appear. Your next court date will be May 28th at 10:30 in the morning at Oro Valley City Court.
Excuse me, on that.
And the additional orders are that while you are on release for this case, you may not have any contact with the alleged victims. You can return to the home one time with a police escort to pick up your necessary belongings. You will take my court order to the closest police station to the residence.
But is my
and
house,
they will escort
Judge?
you to pick up your belongings. You may commit no acts of domestic violence, no alcohol or illegal drugs. And if you fail to appear for court, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. You're excused for today.
Up next on The Price is Wrong. Those sound effects always get me. Get your hands off the table.
Good morning. Please state your name.
Arms.
Shay Midkiff. SHAYMIDKIFF.
Mr. Midkiff, this is the time for your initial appearance. You are here this morning on charges of criminal damage and disorderly conduct. Those are domestic violence charges.
Why?
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire an attorney of your choice, and in certain circumstances, an attorney may be appointed on your behalf. We're going to talk about your conditions of release this morning. And if I were to order that you were released on your promise to appear for future court hearings, would you appear for your next court hearing?
100%.
All right.
Without a doubt.
Well,
So I am going to order that you're released on your promise to appear. Your next court date is going to be on May 28th at 10:30 in the morning in Marana City Court. If you fail to appear for that hearing, a warrant can issue for your arrest.
He's a changed man.
And the condition of your release is that you do not commit any acts of domestic violence while you're on release for this
He's
offense.
not showing
You
up.
understand?
He's excited.
I understand clearly. Thank you.
Thank you. You're excused.
That type of guy, when he gets released, he's going to kiss the ground all happy. He's going to go call everybody up. Hey, Zach, I just got out of county jail, dude. It was horrible. I'm never going back there. I'm never going to put my hands on Alyssa ever again.
Please state your name.
Arnold Peter Granillo.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr.
Thank
Granillo,
you,
you are here this morning for your initial appearance. You're here on charges of assault, which is a domestic violence
another
offense.
domestic violence?
You have the right to remain silent.
What?
Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire an attorney of your choice, and it looks like, did you put in this contract?
my daily dopamine.
That you have had David Mees appointed for you in the past, and so,
Yes.
we are going to appoint
Thank you for that,
him
Daily.
to represent you in this matter as well.
Oh, snap.
Okay.
I'm going to order for your conditions of release that you are held on a bond of $250 cash or secured. If you are able to post that bond, then the additional orders of your conditions of release are that you commit no acts of domestic violence, possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, have no contact with the alleged victim, and do not return to the incident location.
It's wild. It's definitely wild out there on the streets.
And were you living, is that where you were living, sir?
At our house, yeah, but I could go to my mom's.
All right, so I'll order that you're allowed to return there one time with a police escort to pick up your belongings. You would take my order to the closest police station and they'll escort you to pick up your belongings.
Of course.
And then your next court date is going to be on Monday at 1 p.m. If you remain in custody, the jail will make you available for that hearing. If you post your bond and you are released, it'll be your responsibility to appear. And if you fail to appear, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, thank you. You're excused.
Thank you.
Keep your hands up for your partner. No bueno. This guy looks like he has back problems. His CL20s might be out of alignment. CL20s, what part of the spine is that? I don't know. I'm talking about my headphones, the CL20s. See the L1 and the L2, not the mute button. Just keeping it up there to remind you guys.
Okay.
Hola. What up, No Face?
All right,
Welcome
good morning.
back.
Please state your name.
Hola. Carlos Pada?
Is it Carlos Andres Para Linares?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good morning,
Thank you for that,
Mr. Para Linares. This is the time for your initial appearance. You're here this morning on charges of shoplifting, possession of drug paraphernalia, and refusing to provide your true name.
He sounds like he's a Harry
Anything you
Potter.
say can and will be used against you.
This is
You have the
Pima
right to
County.
be represented by an attorney, and I am appointing Douglas Taylor to represent you.
Douglas Taylor. I don't know about having a lawyer as a name Douglas Taylor.
It's
to
also
represent me
my
in court.
understanding that you're being held on a matter that is not before me this morning. So regardless of what I ordered in this case, you would not be released until that matter was resolved. We're going to discuss your conditions of release, and I'm going to order that you are held on a bond of $250, cash or secured.
Douglas
If you are able to post bond and be released, the additional orders are that you possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs and have no contact with the alleged victims of the theft. Do not return to the incident location. Your next court date is going to be on Monday at 1 o'clock for this case. That will be with Judge Foster. If you remain in custody, the jail will make you available for that hearing. If you were to be released, it would be your responsibility to appear. And if you fail to appear, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You're excused.
Hey, If you're passing by Pima County, I would suggest not stopping. That's what I would do. I would just keep on going. No need to stop. What happened to
Good
his
morning.
feet?
Please state your name.
Ramsey Sherman.
Mr. Ramsey, this is the time for your initial appearance. It looks like we have a few different matters for you this morning, including a warrant from Central Eloy, with a bond amount of $1,041, as well as charges out of
Right, Green Night Bandits. And if you do show up on this stream, please remember, give us a shout out, please, por favor. We'll highly appreciate it. I'm waiting. Hopefully one day we will get a shout out on here. Shout
Pima
out to
County Justice Court,
Call James,
including shoplifting and criminal trespass, which were in warrant status. And then some Tucson City Court matters, which include
I can't wait.
4 charges of criminal trespass and 1 charge of possession of drug paraphernalia. You have the right to remain silent on all of these matters. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire an attorney of your choice. And on the
shout out to James from Montreal.
Pima County Justice Court case, I am going to appoint Douglas Taylor to represent you.
That's in Quebec, right? If I said that right.
And in that charge, I am going to order a bond of $50, cash or secured. Your next court date will be Monday at 1 p.m.
Hey, from Australia.
That will be with Judge Foster for an arraignment. If you remain in custody, the jail will make you available for that hearing. And if you are released, it'll be your responsibility to appear. If you fail to appear, a warrant can issue for your arrest. The additional orders are not to possess or consume alcohol or illegal drugs, not to have any contact with the alleged victim of the shoplifting, and not to return to the incident location.
You guys speak Le French?
On the out-of-county warrant, I am going to respect the bond amount that they issued on their warrant. So the bond for that one will be $1,041. Also cash or secured.
The judge's son.
And your next court date for that is May 20th at 9 a.m.
Oui.
If you remain in custody, the jail will make you available. If you are released, it'll be your responsibility to appear.
WTF.
And then on your Tucson City Court cases,
no sé French. Hey, but I might need you guys if I ever leave America.
I'm just going to order
you better
a
believe
bond
I'm
of
going to go to Canada. Canada
also
up next,
cash or
if
secured.
you will. Next stop, all aboard Canada.
Do not have any contact with the victims of the trespass charges. Do not return to that location. And your next court date will be on May 9th at 1:45. If you remain in custody, that will be a video review. If you post bond and are released, then your next court date in the city court cases won't be until June 2nd.
Ah, damn, thanks for reminding
at
me.
9:30.
I'm going to have to sneak across the border, if you will.
For a pretrial conference.
Haircut.
And if you fail to appear, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
So am I being held today, or how much do I owe today to get out? I pay today.
I've been to Vancouver.
Did I say how much?
I think I have like $350 of cash in my wallet that's being held in my personal belongings for now.
So I think it's sorry.
Take your time, Your Honor. Take your time.
This is the total.
Hey, so, a fun fact. I've actually been to Canada a few times.
Thank you. And I am appointing the City of Tucson Public Defender. I think I forgot to say that. For the city court charges. And you are excused.
Hey, when I went to Vancouver last year. I saw the biggest Krizak pipe this big I ever seen in my life. I seen this blind lady. She was going all the way to the sky. She was going all the way up.
Your name?
Like the terror.
Darius Jose Ross II.
Mr. Ross, this is the time for your initial
Hey,
appearance.
I've never been to Ontario.
We have a couple of different matters here for you.
Vancouver Island.
Including,
I got a video of it. For those of you that don't believe me, that
a warrant out of Pinal County for driving on a suspended license.
And she was blind. I was like double. It was like knocked my socks off.
Also out of Casa Grande for the same charge. And then we have a couple of city court matters from Tucson City Court, including charges of assault and disorderly conduct, which were in warrant status.
Those were taken care of already by my public defender.
Okay.
He told me that I didn't need to worry about it.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm actually loud like that.
So let me tell you that you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire an attorney of your choice, and in certain circumstances, an attorney may be appointed on your behalf. And I show in here
this is Arizona, yeah, Hancho.
a number of
Actually, I don't wear long socks. I wear short socks.
orders, but none of them suggest that these charges were dismissed or that they, you know, like a plea agreement has been entered or anything like that. And
oh, you're not down, fool. Nah, hell nah, I'm a scary ass fool. I'm not trying to go to
in
jail.
fact,
Jail is scary. You ain't that.
It looks like.
Just want to say, what's up, Ms. Vero? 559. Happy Friday.
Your attorney may have indicated that he had no contact with you since the pretrial hearing on May 2nd, 2024.
Pre-trial, he told me to leave, that he would handle it. And I haven't heard from him since.
Okay. Well, if that's what happened, then that was bad advice because a warrant did issue for your arrest. All right?
Stop lying.
Yeah.
So, we're going to talk about your conditions of release, and I'll start with Central Pinal Justice Court. They issued their warrant just double checking this.
I thought you
is
were doing it
correct,
next Friday.
as $1,538. So I am going to honor the warrant that they issued, and that'll be the bond for that case. Your court date for the Pinal County driving on a suspended license charge is May 20th at 9 a.m. If you are released, it'll be your responsibility to appear. If you fail to appear, a warrant can issue for your arrest. And then on the Casa Grande Justice Court case, they issued their warrant in the amount of $745. And so that's the bond I'm going to order. The next court date on that one will be May 16th at 9 a.m. And then for the Tucson City Court cases, if I were to release you on your promise to appear for those, would you show up for that hearing?
With bells on.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
I am going to release you on your promise to appear. Your next court
Thank
date
you.
will be June 20th.
Yes, ma'am.
That's at 9 a.m. at at Tucson City Court.
Okay.
With Judge Cranshaw. The additional orders are not to have any contact with the alleged victim, do not return to the incident location, do not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs.
Ma'am, that's kind of impossible because my kids live next door to the location, but they no longer live there.
Yeah, you have to pay to get released.
Your kids live next door to the location where the incidents are alleged to have occurred?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you can go to the next door address. You just can't go on the property of the incident location. Are these homes or apartments?
Okay.
Okay.
He's violating.
So you can be at the next door location, just not on their actual property.
Okay.
All right. Do you understand your conditions of release and the consequences of failing to appear for court?
Nope.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Your excuse.
Absolutely not.
So,
He'll
real
be
quick
back.
question. So, am I being ROR?
Only on the Tucson City Court.
So then I have to bond out to get out of here right now? Okay. Thank you.
They only just let you out of jail in Canada? Hey, thank you. Highly appreciate that, Pumpkin. Yeah, if you haven't done so, please do so. Hit that follow button. It's free for you. It's free for me. It's free. It's free for all of us. And we're trying to get,
Please state your name.
14,000, if you will. Catch and release in Canada. They just need to flush the toilet with the key. This guy, we got a stretcher, guys, and a yawner. That's a long yawn right there. But he can't beat that one guy, man. That one guy, that one time, he was just yawning like nonstop. I think like through the whole proceeding, he just had his mouth open. He just couldn't keep it shut. Hey, what up? What up, Armando?
I'm sorry, could you
Armando,
repeat
what
that
up,
one more
homie?
time? I'm not
What
seeing
up,
it on
big
the
boy?
list.
How many cases
Oh, I
we
see.
got?
Okay.
It's a lot.
Francisco Bustamante.
Hey, whoa,
All right,
whoa,
Mr.
move your hand there,
Bustamante,
buddy.
this is the time
What are you doing
for
right
your
here?
initial
Marias.
appearance
He was
on
catching flies.
a
That's
lot
the
of
guy.
warrants out of Tucson City Court. These include, I think, 6 different counts of criminal trespass. I think I counted 12 different charges of possession of drug
That's what I hear.
paraphernalia and 6 different charges of
Grandpa in
unlawful
Beverly, that's
possession
right.
of
Oh, the
prescription
Tommies.
drugs.
Ooh,
These
that's what I'm
date
talking
back
about.
for a couple
The
of
original one.
years.
Taco Bell.
And they were all
So
in
many
failure
pew
to
pews
appear
there.
or warrant status. And then there are a couple of new ones.
What you know about Benton?
And so on those new ones, I will enter pleas of not guilty today. And you are presumed to be innocent. You have the right to remain silent on all of these charges. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney, and I am appointing the City of Tucson Public Defender to represent you. We're going to discuss your conditions of release, and I'm going to order that you're held on a bond of $1,000, cash or secured. If you are able to post that bond and be released, then the additional orders are to have no contact with the alleged victims of the criminal trespass, do not return to those incident locations, possess or consume no alcohol or illegal substances. Your next court date, if you remain in custody, will be May 9th at 1:45 for a video review. And if you are able to post bond and be released, then your next court date will
Sounds
be
like something
June
my wife
3rd,
would say.
2025 at 9:30 in the morning for a pretrial conference. Those will be in courtroom number 6 at Tucson City Court.
Wow.
If you were to be released and then fail to appear, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Given the number of charges
Imagine
and
there was
previous
splash
failure
water
to
on them.
appear, I would imagine that would
Like if
happen
they
on
did
your
that?
first failure to appear. Do you understand?
He's sleeping
Sir?
already. Hello.
Yes.
All right, thank you. You're excused for today.
He's playing.
Grab a
He's
paper.
playing heads up 7 now. Yeah. Up next.
Good morning. Please state your name.
Christopher Fritz.
Mr. Fritz, this is the time for your initial appearance. You are here on charges out of Tucson City Court, including assault, disorderly conduct, threats and intimidation, criminal trespass, and disorderly conduct. Those are all domestic violence offenses. The first 2 were in failure to appear status. You have the right to remain silent on all of these matters. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney, and I am appointing the Tucson City Public Defender to represent you. We're going to discuss your conditions of release. I'm going to order that you are held on a bond of $500, cash or secured. If you are able to post that bond and be released, the additional orders are that you commit no acts of domestic violence, have no contact with the alleged victim, who I believe is your girlfriend, do not return to the incident location.
Damn, never mind.
Oh, that's old. That's already done.
It does not appear to be done, sir.
I just signed a plea
The
for the
beating
sales
might be
case
done.
and that.
But
Well, the last thing that I show in the file is from January, and it's the last time you were arrested. And then after that, there's an order in February where a warrant was issued for your arrest.
The fuck? Oh, I didn't know that.
All right, your next court date is going to be May 14th at 1:30 before Judge Millian at Tucson City Court. If you remain in custody, it'll be a video review, and if you are released, it will be a pretrial conference. If you fail,
I have a question.
a warrant can issue for your arrest. What's your question, sir?
So, look, I'm held right now, other than this, for missing court to sign my plea. I'm asking, on Tuesday I get to see the court for that. I have 2 dogs that are sitting out there, and I have a job. I'm asking if you could take these bonds off of this if I promise to appear at the court dates.
Nah, homeboy.
If you cannot hold me on any bond so I could get released on Tuesday like I'm supposed to sign after I get sentenced for the sales case.
Not today. Not today, buddy.
I did good all through pretrial. I only missed this court date.
This fool said I did all good through.
And it's because my lawyer told me it was at 1 o'clock, and come to find out it was at 9 in the morning.
Oh, I hate
All right,
when that
sir,
happens.
I'm not going to change my order. Thank you. You're excused.
This fool. I'm out. They let me out. Hey, come pick me up. I gotta go to the double spot.
Wait, this was when I made the joke about it.
This fool talking about I'm doing good. Hey, what up, Kim? How's it going? Reading is fundamental. Reading is fundamental. Boo. Let me should have thought of the dogs before he threw hands on his girlfriend.
Good morning. Please state your name.
4.0 GPA.
David Charles McNeil.
Mr. McNeil, this is the time for your initial appearance. You are here this morning on charges of unlawful imprisonment, criminal damage, assault, and disorderly conduct. Those are all domestic violence offenses. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire an attorney of your choice, and in certain circumstances, an attorney may be appointed on your behalf. We're going to talk about your conditions of release this morning.
Hey, you know what? DV is funding this whole industry right here in Pima County. If it wasn't for DV, I don't even think they'll have a jail right there. It's bananas. Imagine how many people rely on that, how many jobs it provides, from, you know, the sheriffs to the free staff to man, it's providing a lot of, you know, that misery. Those actions are providing a lot of jobs. People are able to send their kids, put a roof over their head.
Sir, if I were to order that you were released on your promise to appear for your future court date, but that you could have no contact with the alleged victim or victims in this matter, would you be able to abide by that condition, and would you appear for your next court date?
Yes.
All right. So I will order that you're released on your promise to appear. Your additional orders are not to commit any acts of domestic violence, have no contact with the alleged victims, do not return to their residence or the incident location. You may return one time with a law enforcement escort to pick up your necessary belongings if you were living there. You'll take my order to the closest police station, and they will escort you there to obtain your belongings. Your next court date is going to be on June 3rd at 1:30 for a pretrial conference. I will enter pleas of not guilty on your behalf and let you know that if you fail to appear, not only can a warrant issue for your arrest, the hearings can go forward in your absence, including trial. And if you are convicted and then fail to appear for sentencing for at least 90 days, you can lose your right to a direct appeal. Do you understand?
Yes.
Thank you. You're excused for today.
Bananas, I'm telling you guys. You know, hey, just, you know, looking at these cases, not
Please state your
using
name.
or utilizing
Asaya McFatridge.
rugs definitely reinforces that
McFatridge,
I made
this
the
is
right
the
choice.
time for your initial appearance on charges of interfering with a judicial order or disobeying a judicial order. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire an attorney of your choice, and In some circumstances, an attorney may be appointed on your behalf. It's my understanding that Lincoln McFatridge is on the line this morning. So in just a moment, I'm going to ask him if he'd like to be heard. We're going to discuss your conditions of release this morning. And I have reviewed the probable cause statement and information provided
Not only are they bad,
services.
they're expensive.
Mr. McFatridge,
If you
would you
will.
like to speak? You may need to unmute yourself by hitting *6.
Got that type of money. Sir, unmute.
No, thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, ma'am, if I were to order that you were released on your promise to appear at future court dates and that you could have no contact with Mr. McFatridge, would you be able to abide by that condition of release, and would you appear at your next court date?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. So I am going to order that you are released on your promise to appear. The additional orders are to commit no acts of domestic violence, have no contact with Mr. McFatridge, and do not return to his residence. Your next court date will be June 3rd at 1:30. That's for a...
Thank you for the daily heart.
I think that'll be a DV arraignment.
Why?
May I ask one question?
Let me finish and then I'll let you ask your question if you still have the question. I am going to enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. You are presumed to be innocent. However, if you fail to appear for court, a warrant can issue for your arrest. The hearing can go forward in your absence. That includes trial. And if you were convicted and then failed to appear, you could lose your right to a direct appeal. And what's your question, ma'am?
I just want to make sure that I'm 100% like certain on this. I know you said no contact with Lincoln, the whole 9 yards. I just want to make, so we have court May 6th. That's fine to go to court and do that. And since we're going to be in the court, it's fine to still show up and things like that.
Yes.
I just want to be.
You can still go to your court hearing.
Okay, I just don't want to get arrested again. That's all I wanted to know.
Absolutely. All right.
Like, this is my first time I've been arrested. That's why I asked. Sorry.
Hopefully it's also your last time.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
The unmute box. I just got it there just in case somebody starts acting up. I got something for you guys. It's like a threat, if you will. Make it your last.
Good morning. Please state your name.
Amy Phillips.
Ms. Phillips, this is the time for your initial appearance on charges of assault and disorderly conduct. Those are domestic violence charges. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire an attorney of your choice, and in certain circumstances, an attorney may be appointed on your behalf. We're going to talk about your conditions of release this morning. If I were to order that you were released on your promise to appear for your future court dates and that you could have no contact with Timothy and Ava during that time, would you be able to abide by that condition and appear at your next court date?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, I will order that you are released on your promise to appear. The additional orders that you possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, commit no acts of domestic violence, have no contact with Timothy and Ava, do not go to the incident location. Were you living with them?
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yes, and that's where I work as well. I work from home.
Okay. So I'm going to order that you're allowed to return there one time with a police escort to obtain the personal belongings you need for now. You'll take my order to the closest police station and they will escort you there to get what you need. It may be the case that these orders do not last forever, but right now, these are the orders that will be in place, okay?
Prison is scary, homeboy.
All right. And so, do you have somewhere else to go?
I hope so.
Okay. If you do need help, there is a transition center outside of the jail. They may be able to connect you with some resources. Your next court date is going to be on June 20th at 9 a.m. And if you were to fail to appear for that court date, a warrant could issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Imagine working from home and having to go to McDonald's or Starbucks to get that Wi-Fi. Let me see. You said Agua, and the only place I've ever heard that before. But you know what? So I've been I've never been to La Pinta, if you will, but I've been up to LA County, so I picked up a lot of that stuff. Gracias a ti, sopas. Get that spread ready, homeboy.
Please state your name.
Buenas noches.
Alex Perez Quiroz Jr.
Mr. Quiroz, this is the time for your initial appearance.
Drop
You're here
one,
on
flush
charges of
one.
criminal trespass and disorderly conduct. Those are
Courtesy
domestic
flush.
violence related offenses.
Oh, another one.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire an attorney of your choice, and in certain circumstances, an attorney may be appointed on your behalf.
Thank you for that follow, crazy.
We're going to talk about your conditions of release today. And if I were to order that you were released on your promise to appear, but you could not return to the
Only
victim's
Spanish I know
residence,
is
would that be a condition you could
Gators.
abide by?
Now you know
And
agua.
would you appear for your next court date?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Yes, sir.
So I am going to order that you are released on your promise to appear. The additional orders are
Alright,
if you
you
possess
said
or
it,
consume no
Wetsuit, man.
alcohol or illegal drugs, commit no acts of domestic violence, and do not go to
I got my passport readily available at a moment's notice.
where is her
I got my bag ready to go. My wife was like, "Hey, why do you have that bag ready? Shit, just in case shit goes bad, I'm out of here." She's like, "What about me?"
do not go to Blanca's.
I don't know, but I got my bag ready.
Thank you.
Poke. Oh, that's right. I forgot about it.
Your next court date is June 3rd. That's at 2:30 in the afternoon with Judge Mayhew at Tucson City Court. If you were to fail to appear, a warrant could issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Very well. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. You're excused for today.
This, thanks.
Bernie?
This is all I need, ma'am?
Yep.
So what do I do when I get out of here?
Go to that court date.
Well, this court date.
Tucson City.
Tucson
My
City
husband says I hope I
Court.
could float.
Is there anybody I can talk to? Because
All right, thank you for muting that. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get the queue ready right here to try to get into Polk County, if you will. James, my friend, I haven't seen you for what seems like forever, if you will. Yeah, I haven't been on for the last couple of days. It's been kind of spotty, if you will, but it be like that sometimes. All right, we're gonna join up right now. If once they let me in, I'll go and swap on over. All right, so we don't miss out on any of this. Polk County, Polk County never disappoints. But what I want to know is why they wear shorts.
Good morning. Please state your name.
Thank you for that, Kate.
Bernie Schwab.
Ms. Schwab, this is the time for your initial appearance. It looks like you had charges out of Tucson City Court of prescription of possession of prescription drugs and possession of drug paraphernalia. A warrant had been issued for your arrest in those
Antonio
charges
Cruz,
due
pase
to your
adelante.
failure
All right,
to
Antonio Cruz,
appear.
hold up.
All right, sir, do you need the service of the public defender?
Hold on, let me shut this
Señor,
down really
necesita
quick.
los servicios del abogado de oficio.
James, I can't see nothing. Hold up.
Yes.
Hold your horses. I gotta.
I will appoint public defender to represent you. You're on a charge of driving with license suspended. Your bond amount is $250. Good luck, sir.
Muy bien, le designo la oficina de abogado de oficio para que lo represente. Le impongo, se le acusa de haber conducido con la licencia suspendida y le fijo una fianza de
Damn, that place is
$250.
packed
Le
today.
deseo buena suerte.
Damn, OT
James.
today. James, I can't see nothing. James, I can't see nada.
Apolinar.
Hold on. Let me
Yes.
see. Window cap.
Sir, do you need the service of the public defender?
Necesita los servicios de la oficina de abogado de oficio.
First appearance. Is it this one? No.
No.
All right, sir, you're here on a charge of domestic violence battery. There's probable cause for the charge. Your bond amount will be $1,000. And if you're able to bond out, there will be conditions of pretrial release.
Muy bien, señor, usted está aquí acusado de violencia intrafamiliar. Se establecieron motivos fundados para acusarle y se le fija una fianza en la cantidad de $1,000. De poder salir bajo fianza,
I can't
usted
see nothing,
estará
James, the
sujeto
mute.
a condiciones a una libertad previa al juicio.
Those conditions will include that you will not use, possess, or carry weapons, firearms, guns, knives, or ammunition. You'll have no contact with the alleged victim. But you may return to the victim's residence one time only within 40 hours of release, accompanied by law enforcement. Good luck, sir.
Estas condiciones conllevan, señor, que no se le prohíbe uso y portación de armas, armas de fuego, pistolas, armas blancas, munición alguna. Se le prohíbe que tenga contacto con la supuesta perjudicada. Se le permite regresar a la residencia de la perjudicada dentro de las primeras 48 horas después de su puesta en libertad, siempre y cuando esté acompañado por un agente del orden público. Le deseo buena suerte, señor.
Sí. Okay.
Yes.
We have Castaneda
Pistola,
Castro.
she's a pistola.
Castro Castañeda.
Sir, you need the service of the public defender.
Necesita los servicios de la oficina de abogados de oficio.
He needs a haircut.
Yes.
I will appoint the public defender to represent you here on charges of reckless driving. Your bond amount for that charge will be $1,000.
Señor, se le designa a la oficina de abogados de oficio para que lo represente. Aquí está acusado de haber conducido temerariamente. La fianza que se le fija para este cargo será de $1,000. Por haber conducido con la licencia suspendida, se le fija la fianza de $1,000.
Just for you, Sue. Just for you.
El tratar de evadir, se le impone una fianza de $5,000.
Charge of DUI, for which the bond amount will be $5,000, and if you're able to bond out, there will be conditions of pretrial release.
También por haber conducido bajo los efectos,
Just because
se le
you're a huge
impone
supporter, Sue, I got you.
fianza, se le fija una fianza de $5,000. Y también esta fianza está sujeta a que usted se sujeta a condiciones de libertad previa al juicio.
Those conditions will include that you will be subject to.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, there's background noise. It's hard for the interpreter.
No oigo, I can't hear.
Those conditions will include that you will be subject to random breath testing self-pay.
Estas condiciones conllevan que usted se someta a pruebas aleatorias que usted costeará dichos gastos.
You will not use, possess, or carry any weapons, firearms, guns, knives, or ammunition.
Se le prohíbe que usted porte o tenga ningún tipo de armas, armas de fuego, pistolas, armas blancas o munición alguna.
You will not possess or consume alcohol or enter any bar or lounge.
Se le prohíbe que consuma bebida alcohólica o que asista a cualquier tipo de cantina o tabernas.
What's in his hair?
You will not
Probably got a
drive
bird
any
nest in there.
vehicle of any kind at any time whatsoever while on pretrial release.
Mientras
Are you on
esté bajo
another?
una
I
libertad
got two
previa al
channels.
juicio, también se le prohíbe que maneje ningún tipo de vehículo en ningún momento.
Are they playing musical chairs?
Buena suerte, señor.
Christian Tony Rodriguez.
So this is Polk County in the state of Florida.
You're here on a warrant out of another jurisdiction on a violation of probation. You will be held no bound.
Judge, this is Gomez Rodriguez Wilmer.
El Wilmer.
Christian Tony Rodriguez.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to have that name. Wilmer. Think about Charlotte's Web if you will. It's not Wilmer, it's
He didn't need
Wilbur.
a Spanish. He changed his mind. Katani?
Oh, okay.
He changed his mind.
This is Wilmer Gomez Rodriguez.
Sí.
Gómez Rodríguez. Wilmer.
Yes.
All right, sir, do you need the service of the public defender?
Señor, necesita los servicios del abogado de oficio. ¿Ah? ¿Qué dijo?
Sí.
Yes.
Yes.
I will appoint the public defender to represent you here on a failure to carry motor vehicle liability insurance. Your bond amount is $250. Good luck, sir.
Señor, le designaré a la oficina de abogado de oficio para que le represente. Comparece aquí por no tener seguro mínimo obligatorio vehicular. Así es que la fianza que le impongo será de $250. Buena suerte, señor.
Gregory Santana.
Next.
Gregory Santana.
Sir, do you need the service of the public defender?
¿Necesita los servicios del abogado de oficio?
Sí.
Yes.
Yes.
I will appoint the public defender to represent you here in a charge of domestic violence battery. There is probable cause. Your bond amount will be $1,000. If you're able to bond out, there will be conditions of pretrial release.
Señor, está aquí, se designaré la oficina de abogado de oficio para que lo represente.
Hey, they got lunch. We don't got time for questions.
Se le acusa aquí en un cargo
Gotta
de
streamline the
violencia
process.
intrafamiliar. La fianza que se le impone será de $1,000 y de salir bajo fianza estará sujeto a ciertas condiciones en cuanto a su libertad provisional.
You would not use, possess, or carry any weapons, firearms, guns, knives, or ammunition. You'd have no contact with the alleged victim, but you may return to the victim's residence one time only within 48 hours of release, accompanied by law enforcement to retrieve any personal items. Good luck.
Se le prohíbe que porte o posea ningún tipo de armas, armas de fuego, pistolas, armas blancas o munición alguna. También se le prohíbe que tenga contacto con la supuesta perjudicada. También se le va a permitir regresar a la residencia del perjudicado en una sola ocasión dentro de las primeras 48 horas de su puesta en libertad, siempre y cuando esté acompañado por un agente del orden público para poder retirar sus efectos personales. Le deseo buena suerte.
I think the pH balance in that room might be a little bit off. It's humid in there.
Pérez Gómez Gámez.
Sir, you need the service of the public defender.
Señor, necesita el servicio del abogado de oficio.
It's Annie.
Sí, una línea.
Yes.
I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You're in charge of simple battery.
Yes.
There is probable cause for the charge. Your bond amount will be $1,000, as well as 2 counts of violation of probation, for which you will be held no bond. Good luck, sir.
Señor, le nombraré la oficina de abogado de oficio para que lo represente. Usted se le acusa en un cargo de agresión simple. La fianza que se le impone es de $1,000. También está aquí en 2 puntos acusatorios por haber incumplido las condiciones de su régimen a prueba, lo cual por estos cargos no se le permitirá fianza. Le deseo buena suerte, señor. Thank you.
Jose Torres.
Yes.
José Torres.
All right, sir, do you need the service of the public defender?
Señor, ¿necesita los servicios de la oficina de abogados de oficio?
Sí.
¿Qué?
¿Qué?
Yes.
All right, sir, I will appoint the public defender to represent you here as a result of a warrant signed by the Honorable Judge Mark Carpenini. You will be held no bond on your charge. Good luck, sir.
Muy bien, señor. Le nombraré la oficina de abogados de oficio para que los represente a consecuencia de una orden de aprehensión que fue firmada por el honorable juez Mark Carpenini y no se le permite fianza en cuanto al cargo. Le deseo buena suerte, señor.
Next, Dominique Morgan
All right, do you have
Freeman.
anyone else who needs the service of the Spanish interpreter?
We have Miss Cruz Perez, first name Perla. Yes.
Oh, there it is. All right, do you need the service of the public defender?
¿Necesita los servicios de la oficina de abogados de oficio?
Sí.
Yes.
I will appoint the public defender to represent you here in charge of no valid driver's license. Your bond amount is $250. Good luck, ma'am.
Le nombraré la oficina de abogados de oficio para que la represente. Está aquí acusada por no tener una licencia válida de conducir. Se le fija la fianza en la cantidad de $250. Le deseo buena suerte, señora.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Anyone else that needs the service of Spanish interpreter?
¿Alguna otra persona que necesite los servicios del intérprete judicial?
No response.
No
Thank you very much.
Hey, they're trying to get to lunch.
Have everyone stand up and be sworn in.
All right,
interpreter be dismissed, Your Honor.
You may. Thank you.
All right. Raise
your right hand.
You swear from the testimony you're about to give the truth, the whole truth, and about the truth, so help you God? If so, say I do.
I do.
So be seated.
May be seated.
Your first appearance, my name is called. Come forward. We only cover a few things. The first is, I'll ask you if you need the service of the public defender. If your answer is anything other than no, then we'll talk about your financial situation to determine if you qualify for the public defender.
Thank you.
Next, we'll look at the charges to determine if there is probable cause. If there is probable cause, we'll determine any appropriate release conditions or bond conditions. Please do not talk about the facts of your case in any way whatsoever. Everything you say will be used against you. So please, if it's something you're going to say about your case, don't say it.
The cops are deep in there.
With South County, I think it's Marcus Anthony.
Marcus, South County. Hold on. I got to change the screen.
Mr. Anthony, do you need the service of the public defender?
Yes.
All right.
South County. Hold up. I got to switch it up here really quick. There we go.
All right, sir. Well, I can't appoint the public defender, but we will be held no bond, and hopefully Osceola County will come get you fairly quickly.
Your Honor.
And hopefully they can do something about it at that point.
Your Honor, I've already went to trial last week on because it was a new law violation on the probation for Osceola County. I went to trial last week and beat it, and Osceola still hasn't came and got me. So.
See if they will. Good luck, sir. Dedrick Brenson.
All right.
Mr. Brenson, do you need the service of the public defender?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Katia Wilson here on behalf of Mr. Brenson.
Good morning, or good afternoon, counsel. We have charges here of trespass, impersonating a law enforcement officer, 2 counts of that, as well as a charge of stalking.
Fix your clock.
He was placed on pretrial release. However, the pretrial release was after these charges were brought. Counsel wish to be heard on this?
No, Your Honor, I just wanted to make sure that it was known that this was, he was already on pretrial release before this came about.
Understood. All right, so the 3 counts, the first 3 cases, the bond will be $1,000 each. For the charge of stalking, the bond amount will be $5,000. If he's able to bond out, there'll be conditions of pretrial release. Those conditions will include the following: he would not use, possess, or carry any weapon, firearms, guns, knives, or ammunition, and he would have no contact with the alleged victim. Good luck, Mr. Brinson.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Counsel. Raimundo Cantu. Come on.
There we go. We're fixed up now. Chad.
Mr. Cantu, do you need the service of the public defender?
Yes, sir.
I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You're on a charge of illegal use of the streets. Your bond amount is $250. Good luck, sir. Colin Dixon.
Yes, sir.
Dixon, you're here as a result of a warrant out of another jurisdiction, Marion County to be precise, and you will be held no bond on those charges until they come to get you. But we will set this for a week from today. Hopefully they've done what they've got to do. Otherwise, we'll have to do it for them. Good luck, sir.
All right, thank you.
He's represented by MK. I think he's still outside.
Okay. Can you check and see if
Mr. Taylor, next slide.
Mike Floridor? Mr. Floridor, you're here as a result of a warrant out of another jurisdiction on a violation of probation. You will be held no bond on that charge. Good luck, sir.
We don't want to. We don't want to. She's families one of them.
Detorian Gaines? Mr. Gaines, do you need the service of the public defender?
Yes, sir.
I will appoint the public defender to represent you here on an allegation of violation of probation. You will be held no bond on that charge. Good luck, sir.
Yes, sir.
Damn, they're moving quick right here.
All right, then Adrian Felix. Good afternoon, Mr. Taylor.
Good afternoon, Judge. Matthew Taylor here for the limited purpose of first appearance hearing.
All right, we have 2 charges here, and I have that information down here. The court is inclined to give a bond of $10,000 to each of these charges, and then the defendant would be placed on pretrial release. Conditions of pretrial release would include, if you can pull that up, number 16 and number 17 and number 22. They wish to be heard on this?
No, Your Honor. That's what this was.
All right. Mr. Taylor, anything further on that?
Just, can I speak to Mr. Roberts for just a second?
Sure.
Okay.
I can come back to you. Just let me know.
No, it's about this case. It's, nothing further on this case, Judge.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Those people being asked.
Oh, okay. You got a few others then?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
You want me to do those now? Or?
Yeah, well, I got the list right here. So, Nicholas Liu.
Again, Judge Matthew Taylor on behalf of Mr. Liu for the limited purpose of first appearance hearing.
All right. Given the nature of the charge, at this point, the defendant will be held no bond on that charge. Liu? Okay. And we have Felix Adrian.
Like, he just did him.
Williams, Michael Williams.
Yes, sir.
Michael Williams?
I do. I'm gonna go eat some.
Charged with an officer without violence and domestic violence battery on a person over the age of 65.
What?
The Drew asked for the $5,000 bond as it relates to count with the battery, and a $1,000 bond as it relates to the resisting without violence.
All right, and I think that's appropriate. So the resisting officer without violence, the bond amount would be $1,000. That's the domestic violence battery on a person over the age of 65. The bond amount will be $5,000. If the defendant's able to bond out, there will be conditions of pretrial release. Those conditions would include the following: he would not use, possess, or carry any weapon, firearms, guns, knives, or ammunition. He'd have no contact with the alleged victim. He may return to the victim's residence one time only within 48 hours of release. accompanied by law enforcement to retrieve any personal items. I do have a note also, 24 MM 6799.
Yes, sir. He's on bond in that case. The charge is resisting officer without violence and threat to a law enforcement officer. They request that he be pardoned.
Judge, I'd ask the court to not do that because Mr. Williams he's married and his wife is present today. That she is also the alleged victim in the felony case's daughter. Okay, and she'll say that there was no physical contact between these two, and nor did he resist really in any way. And it was all video and audio recorded. Obviously, we're not going to get into that, but the point is that obviously the court's already found probable cause, and I know that's the only standard that has to be overcome here, but the court in its discretion does not have to Parker Mr. Williams and give him a chance to remain on bond and pretrial release. I think he's not going to be going back to the location. He's already got another place to live. He's a longtime resident of Polk County. He's not a flight risk, and would argue that he's not a threat to the community.
Given the nature of the charge, it's exactly the same as 24 MM 6799. Defendant's bond will be revoked to be held no bond pursuant to Parker v. State.
That's all I have before the court, Judge.
Thank you, sir.
What is this? We're doing job interviews, Chad, and things ain't looking so good for these individuals, if you will. What's up, Steven?
But you need the service of the public defender.
No.
All right, so you're here on charge of possession of drug paraphernalia, possession of methamphetamine. Your bond amount will be $1,000 and $5,000. Good luck, sir. Michael Jackson. Jackson, you need the service of the public defender.
Yes, sir.
I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You're to charge of domestic violence, aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. There is probable cause for the charge. Your bond amount will be $10,000. If you're able to bond out, there will be conditions of pretrial release. Those conditions will include the following. You would not use, possess, or carry any weapons, firearms, guns, knives, or ammunition. You'd have no contact with the alleged victim. But you may return to the victim's residence one time only within 48 hours of release, accompanied by law enforcement to retrieve any personal items. Good luck, sir. Matthew Johnson.
Matthew Johnson.
Mr. Johnson, do you need the service of the public defender?
No, sir.
Is that a yes or a no?
No, sir.
Where the hell's
Right, sir,
Matthew
you're
at?
in charge of misuse of the 911 system. Your bond amount is $5,000. Good luck, sir.
Hold up, Judge. We didn't even get to see
David
Matthew.
Jones.
Yes,
You moved
sir.
too quickly.
Mr. Jones, do you need the service of the public defender?
Yes, sir. I'll take one.
I will appoint the public defender to represent you here on counts of a simple battery with a bond of $1,000, possession of cannabis, possession of drug paraphernalia with a bond of $1,000 each, possession of methamphetamine with a bond of $5,000, 4 counts of violation of probation for which you will be held no bond. Good luck, sir.
Your Honor, I believe that the person has civil batteries violation of probation as well. It's 2018 CF 10490.
They still talking to me?
I have it for 2025 11559.
He's moving like he's a regular.
Hey, so I shouldn't have no battery charge, Your Honor.
18 CF, is that what you're saying?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
The new charges are just cannabis, paraphernalia, and methamphetamine.
That's my battery.
18 CF 10490
Yeah.
is a no bond. It's a violation of probation. You're right, sir. There's no new battery charge.
Thank you, Your Honor. Hey, and just to give you a heads up, I'm gonna cut the TT stream in about 7 minutes at 10:30. I got some other things I gotta do, but I'm gonna keep the stream running on YT. If you want to continue watching,
It'll be Frank Meadows.
jump on
McIntosh,
over to
do you need the
YT
service
if
of
you
the
will.
public defender?
What's
Yes,
YT?
I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You're on charge of the violation of pretrial release conditions. There is probable cause for the charge. Your bond amount will be $1,000, and if you're able to bond out, there will be conditions of pretrial release. Those conditions will include the following. You would not use, possess, or carry any weapons, firearms, guns, knives, or ammunition, and you would abide by all conditions of the pretrial release that is already in effect. That is in case 24 CF 3439. That order, you will be parkered on that case, and therefore be held no bond. That bond will be revoked. Good luck, sir.
Right there.
Frank
At
Meadows.
CollectCallFrom. And I have a few
Mr.
streams
Meadows,
going
you are
on.
here with
What up,
warrants out
Jenna?
of another jurisdiction, Hillsborough County. So I can't appoint the public defender to represent you. On the first charge, you have a no bond. And that's the other two, the bond is $2,500. Hopefully Hillsborough County will come get you pretty quickly. We'll set this for next Friday to make sure they did do that. Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
Benny Sperlin.
Defensive waive reading.
Yes, sir.
They got that old retirees up in there.
Sperlin, do you need the service of the public defender?
Yes, sir.
I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You're on 2 counts of violation of probation. You will be held no bond on those charges. Good luck, sir.
Yes,
sir. George Swain.
Yeah.
They don't play around right here in Polk
Mr.
County.
Swain, do you need the service of the public defender?
No.
All right, so you're here on charges of domestic violence, simple assault. There is probable cause for the charge. The bond amount for that charge will be $1,000. And if you're able to bond out, there'll be conditions of pretrial release. Those conditions will include the following: you would not use, possess, or carry any weapons, firearms, guns, knives, or ammunition. You have no contact with the alleged victim, but you may return to the victim's residence one time only within 48 hours of release, accompanied by law enforcement to retrieve any personal items.
That's
Additionally, you have a charge of possession of drug paraphernalia with a bond of $1,000 and possession of methamphetamine with a bond of $5,000. Good luck, sir. Do we have anyone else in South County?
I think that's it.
All right, thank you. Then we'll move to Central with the females, beginning with Felicia Barnhill.
Felicia.
Right here.
And do you need the service of the public defender?
Yes.
I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You're in charge of the battery on a law enforcement officer. The bond for that will be $5,000. Resisting officer without violence, the bond amount will be $1,000. Then in charge of domestic violence battery with a prior conviction, bond amount for that will be $5,000. And if you're able to bond out, there'll be conditions of pretrial release. Those conditions will include the following: that you would not use, possess, or carry any weapons, firearms, guns, knives, or ammunition. You'd have no contact with the alleged victim. But you may return to the victim's residence one time only within 40 hours of release, accompanied by law enforcement to retrieve any personal items. The battery on Leo should be $5,000.
No senior discount. Hey, you know what? The messed up thing is that she probably just tugged away from the officer, and that's assault right there. Because he probably tripped on his feet or something. That's how easily you could get an assault on a police officer.
You need the service of the public defender.
No.
All right, and you're here on 2 counts of violation of probation on an order signed by the Honorable Judge Jalal Harb. You will be held no bond as to those charges. Goodbye. Anita Carnahan?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. And do you need the service of the public defender?
No, I don't. My
It's
husband
on
and
YT
I,
right now.
we agreed to drop all the charges against each other.
I have 3 streams running on
Next court date,
YT.
You can certainly ask for the public defender at that time. Today, you're going to charge domestic violence battery, and there is probable cause for the charge. Your bond amount will be $1,000, and if you're able to bond out, there'll be condition of pretrial release. Those conditions will include that you would not use, possess, or carry any weapons, firearms, guns, knives, or ammunition. You would have no contact with the alleged victim. You may return to the victim's residence one time only within 48 hours of release, accompanied by law enforcement to retrieve any personal items. Good luck, ma'am.
Just your meeting.
No, she did not. She denied the plea. Amanda Chisholm?
Yes.
And do you need the service of the public defender? I didn't hear you, ma'am.
Sorry.
Do you need the service of the public defender?
Fine.
You need a public defender?
I shouldn't.
You say sure?
Sure.
She said sure.
All right, then we'll surely do it. Point the public defender to represent. You're going to charge a burglary of a dwelling. The bond amount for that will be $10,000. And petty theft, the bond amount for that will be $250. Good luck, ma'am.
What did he say? I didn't hear what he said.
You can step this way.
Damn.
Gail Christensen.
Talk about next.
And do you need the service of the public defender?
No, sir.
All right, ma'am, you're here on a charge of right to license suspended or revoked. You are recommended for a straight pretrial release, which means if you promise that you'll show up for all your court dates and follow all the rules of court, not get in any trouble, then you can be released without having to post a bond. And you promise me you'll do those things.
Oh, God, yes, absolutely. Yes, sir. I'm a registered nurse. I'm a good person.
We'll show this as a straight pretrial release. Good luck, ma'am.
She said I'm a registered nurse. I'm a good person. Hey, get out of here with that lady.
Name.
Ma'am, do you need the service of the public defender?
No.
All right, ma'am, you're going to charge domestic violence battery. There is probable cause for the charge. Your bond amount will be $1,000. If you're able to bond out, there'll be conditions of pretrial release. Those conditions will include the following: Do not use, possess, or carry any weapons, firearms, guns, knives, or ammunition. You have no contact with the alleged victim, but you may return to the victim's residence one time only within 48 hours of release accompanied by law enforcement to retrieve any personal items. Good luck, ma'am.
I can't stay there.
Correct. Handle the triggers.
Come on.
That's all right.
Not his problem, lady. Come on. We got.
Do you need the service of the public defender?
Yes, please.
I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Say you wish to be heard in this matter.
Not the crib keeper.
State would be requesting $15,000 bond, and in addition, pretrial release conditions include no contact with the victim, no contact with any minors under the age of 18.
What?
Okay. All right. All right, ma'am. On the charge that you have, the public defender is appointed. Bond amount will be $10,000, and if you're able to bond out, there will be conditions of pretrial release. Those conditions would include that you would not use, possess, or carry any weapons, firearms, guns, knives, or ammunition. You'd have no contact with the alleged victim. And also condition number 22 would be imposed as well.
Que asco.
Vaughn Lockamy, is that you?
No, Judge, this is Jameson, Reader Jameson.
Oh, there it is. Thank you. All right, ma'am. Do you need the service of the public defender?
Yes, sir.
I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You're in charge of unarmed burglary of an unoccupied dwelling. Your bond amount is $5,000. Good luck, ma'am. Then Vaughn Lockamy, is that you, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, do you need the service of the public defender?
Yes, sir.
I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You're here on charge of domestic violence battery. There is probable cause for the charge. Your bond amount will be $1,000, and if you're able to bond out, there will be conditions of pretrial release. Those conditions will include the following: you would not use, possess, or carry any weapons, firearms, guns, knives, or ammunition. You'd have no contact with the alleged victim, but you may return to the victim's residence one time only within 48 hours of release, accompanied by law enforcement to retrieve any personal items. Good luck, ma'am.
The house that Mike Williams was at, that's my house.
90 more.
Understood, ma'am. Thank you. So, Roy Lott.
Next.
Ma'am, do you need the service of the public defender?
Yes.
I gotta go play
I will
golf.
Public defender to represent you.
People are slowing me
If
down.
it's a violation of probation, you will be held no bond on those charges. Good luck, ma'am.
Do you know my next court date?
No, ma'am.
He don't
Analyst
care.
Marcus.
Next. Come on, Limpy.
Ma'am, do you need the service of the public defender?
Yes.
I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You're on charges of simple battery with a bond of $1,000 and domestic violence battery with a bond of $1,000. If you're able to bond out, you would be placed on pretrial release. The conditions would include that you would not use, possess, or carry any weapons, firearms, guns, knives, or ammunition. You would have no contact with the alleged victim, but you may return to the victim's residence one time only within 48 hours of release, accompanied by law enforcement to retrieve any personal items. Good luck, ma'am.
Limp,
Stephanie McCollum.
Limp
Good afternoon,
away.
Your Honor.
Ma'am, do you need the service of the public defender?
I do, Your Honor.
I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You're in charge of a veteran person 65 years of age or older.
Oh.
There is probable cause for the charge. Bond amount will be $5,000, and if you're able to bond out, there will be conditions of pretrial release. Those conditions will include the following: you would not use, possess, or carry any weapons, firearms, guns, knives, or ammunition. You have no contact with the alleged victim, but you may return to the victim's residence one time only within 48 hours of release, accompanied by law enforcement if you have any personal items there that need to be retrieved. Good luck, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor.
right, señorita.
Rachel Newsom.
Yes, sir.
Dan, do you need the service of the public defender?
No, sir.
All right, ma'am, if you change your mind at your next court date, you can ask for the public defender at that time. You're not charged of domestic violence battery, and there is probable cause for the charge.
Ah,
Your
wow.
bond amount would be $1,000, and if you're able to bond out, the conditions of pretrial release. Those conditions will include the following: that you would not use, possess, or carry any weapons, firearms, guns, knives, or ammunition. You have no contact with the alleged victim, but you may return to the victim's residence one time only within 48 hours of release, accompanied by law enforcement to retrieve any personal items. Good luck, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Victoria Phillips.
Yes, sir.
This
And
is
do you need
Polk
the service
County.
of the public defender?
Yes, sir.
I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You're on a charge of domestic violence battery. There is probable cause for the charge. The bond amount will be $1,000, and if you're able to bond out, there will be conditions of pretrial release. Those conditions will include the following: you would not use, possess, or carry any weapons, firearms, guns, knives, or ammunition. You'd have no contact with the alleged victim, but you may return to the victim's residence one time only within 48 hours of release, accompanied by law enforcement to retrieve any personal items. Good luck, ma'am.
This is Florida. Polk County, Florida, if you will.
Angel Shumati? Shumati? How do you say your last name?
You may.
Okay, thank you. All right, ma'am, do you need the service of the public defender?
I'm not sure, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am, if you decide to do it the next court date, you can certainly ask the judge at that time. You're here on a charge of domestic violence battery with a prior conviction. There is probable cause for
Damn,
the
is
charge.
this Pima
Your bond amount
2.0?
will be $10,000, and if you're able to bond out,
wow.
under conditions of pre-trial release, those conditions will include the following: that you would not use, possess, or carry any weapons, firearms, guns, knives, or ammunition. You have no contact with the alleged victim, but you may return to the victim's residence one time only within 48 hours of release accompanied by law enforcement to retrieve any personal item. Good
So
luck.
that's, Your Honor, that's been the ongoing issue about my stuff and the no part of the no contact.
Lady, next!
About me having my stuff and to be able to work and move myself.
It's for
All right,
everybody.
ma'am, you'll need to speak to an attorney about that then.
Okay.
Julie Sunderman?
Julie?
All right, ma'am, do you need the service of the public defender?
I don't think so.
All right, ma'am, if you change your mind at your next court date, you can certainly ask for the public defender at that time. You're in a charge of domestic violence battery. There is probable cause for a charge. Your bond amount will be $1,000. If you're able to bond out, there'll be conditions of pre-trial release. Those conditions will include the following: you would not use, possess, or carry any weapons, firearms, guns, knives, or ammunition. You'd have no contact with the alleged victim. You may return to the victim's residence one time only within 40 hours of release accompanied by law enforcement to retrieve any personal items.
Your Honor, my son doesn't live there. He was just there.
He lives there now.
I'm just saying wherever he lives, you can't go there.
Okay. Okay. Misunderstood. Sorry.
All right, good luck, ma'am. Ricardo Zeledin?
Yes, Your Honor.
I understand him. Is he there?
What was the name?
Zeledin, Z-E-L-I-D-O.
He's in a hospital.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Your Honor, if we did it, can we proceed without him just so we can go ahead and have him counseled?
Sure. I'll appoint public defender to represent him.
Thank you,
What
Your
up,
Honor.
this AGR? AGR.
And then just have him brought back whenever he's.
Yes, Your Honor, I proceed an indictment as well, so he'll be back.
Okay, thank you.
So,
Public defender's appointed, but he'll be brought back after that when it's place.
oh,
So everything
you
remains.
don't need to sign if he's going.
All right, that's all the females.
All the females, yes, sir.
All right, then is this one Alameda?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, you're in a charge of DUI. Do you need the public defender?
Yes, sir.
DUI?
I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond on this charge would be $1,000. Good luck, sir.
Damn, and they got
Thank
more
you.
people coming in? Jeez.
David Atkins.
Yes, sir.
Damn it.
All right, Mr. Atkins, you're here on a charge of violation of probation with a bond, zero bond, possession of drug paraphernalia with a bond of $1,000, and possession of methamphetamine with a bond of $5,000. Do you need the service of the public defender?
I do.
I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Good luck, sir. Malcolm Bosley.
Yes, sir.
Sir, do you need the service of the public defender?
Yes, sir.
I didn't hear you.
Yes, sir.
All right, I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You're in charge of possession of cannabis, resisting an officer without violence, possession of drug paraphernalia. The bond for each of those is $1,000. Then in charge of possession of methamphetamine with a bond of $5,000. Good luck, sir. Michael Bottoms.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Bottoms, do you need the service of the public defender?
Yes, sir.
I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Here on 5 counts of violation of probation. You will be held no bond on those charges. Good luck, sir. Sean Carnahan.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, do you need the service of the public defender?
No, Your Honor.
All right, sir, you're in a charge of domestic violence battery. There is probable cause for the charge. Your bond amount will be $1,000. If you're able to bond out, there'll be conditions of pre-trial release. Those conditions will include the following: you would not use, possess, or carry any weapons, firearms, guns, knives, or ammunition. You'd have no contact with the alleged victim, but you may return to the victim's residence one time only within 48 hours of release accompanied by law enforcement to retrieve any personal items. Good luck, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Christian Tony Rodriguez. All right, sir, you're here as a result of a warrant out of Hillsborough County on a violation of probation. You will be held no bond on that charge until Hillsborough County comes to get you. We will set this for next Friday to see if they've actually done what they're supposed to do. Good luck, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Javante Cobb.
Yeah, that's my name.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, that's my name.
All right, sir, do you need the service of the public defender?
Yeah, if I don't already have one, yeah, I'm gonna need one because I think I already do have. I have one.
All right, but probably not on this case, probably on 25 MM 1316, which is the other case that you currently have. But as for this charge, you have a charge of trespass. Your bond amount will be $1,000 for that charge. Good luck, sir.
All right.
Darius Cox.
Yes, sir.
Sir, do you need the service of the public defender?
Yes, sir.
I will appoint a public defender to represent you. You're here on 3 counts of violation of probation. You will be held no bond on those charges. Good luck, sir. Cooper Craig?
Yes, sir.
Sir, do you need the service of the public defender?
Yes, sir.
All right, for most of your cases, I can appoint the public defender. We'll begin with resisting an officer without violence with a bond of $1,000. Then you have a warrant out of Lake County on a writ of bodily attachment for a purge amount of $1,196. Petty theft, a bond of $250. Possession of paraphernalia with a bond of $1,000. Count of possession of cocaine, possession of cannabis resin with a bond of $5,000 each. And then battering a law enforcement officer with a bond of $5,000. Good luck, sir. William Delgado Warrington, is that you, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, you're wanted as a result of warrants out of Osceola County. 3 of them, 2 of them are no bond, and 1 of them is $1,500. So you will be held till they can get you, or at least till next Friday, see if they did what they were supposed to do. Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
Alexander Estrada,
Yes, sir.
sir, do you need the service of the public defender?
Yes, sir.
All right, I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You're here on charges of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. There is probable cause for the charge. Your bond amount will be $10,000, and if you're able to bond out, there'll be conditions of pretrial release. Those conditions will include the following: you would not use, possess, or carry any weapons, firearms, guns, knives, or ammunition. Additionally, you would not drive any vehicle of any kind at any time whatsoever.
Yes, sir.
Good luck, sir.
Thank you. I love you. Keep your head up.
Thank you. Jason Fry?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Fry, do you need the service of the public defender?
No, sir.
All right, sir, you're in a charge of petty theft. There is probable cause for the charge. Your bond amount will be $250. Good luck, sir. Christopher Griffin?
Yes, sir.
Griffin, do you need the service of the public defender?
Yes, sir.
I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You're in charge of resisting an officer without violence with a bond of $1,000, battering a law enforcement officer, and illegal use of credit cards with a bond of $5,000 each. Resisting an officer with violence with a bond of $5,000. Possession of methamphetamine with a bond of $5,000. Possession of paraphernalia with a bond of $1,000, and armed trespass with a bond of $10,000. And if you're able to bond out, there'll be conditions of pretrial release. Those conditions will include the following: you would not use, possess, or carry any weapons, firearms, guns, knives, or ammunition. You would not go back to the event location and have no contact with the alleged victim. Good luck, sir. Camden Harper?
Yes, sir.
Harper, do you need the service of the public defender?
Yes, sir.
I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You're on charges of battery with a prior conviction. Your bond amount will be $5,000. Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
Gregory Hart? Mr. Hart, do you need the service of the public defender?
Yes, sir.
I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You're on charge of possession of cannabis with a bond of $1,000, possession use of narcotic paraphernalia with a bond of $1,000, tampering with physical evidence, and possession of methamphetamine with a bond of $5,000 each. Good luck, sir. Roderick Haynes?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Haynes, do you need the service of the public defender?
Yes,
I
sir.
apologize. This is a warrant out of another jurisdiction, so I cannot appoint the public defender to represent you. We just have to keep you no bond until that jurisdiction claims you, which is Lake County. Good luck, sir. Cedric Himes?
Yes, sir.
Himes, do you need the service of the public defender?
Not that I know of, sir. Not at this
All
moment.
right, sir. Well, you're here on an allegation of a violation of probation, and you will be held no bond on that charge. Good luck, sir.
Yes, sir.
Judge, Mr. Jordan's next. He needs to be sworn in, and he didn't stand to raise his right hand, apparently.
Okay. Are you Roderick? Well, raise your right hand, please, sir. You swear affirm the testimony you have to give will be the truth.
Yeah.
Your name, please, sir.
My name is Roger Jordan.
All right, sir. You're here on a charge of, well, failure to appear for uttering a forged counterfeit bill pursuant to the warrant signed by the Honorable Judge Cassandra Denmark. You will be held no bond on that charge. Good luck, sir.
All right, is there a court date?
There is one, but I don't know what it is.
It's Jordan.
Good luck, sir.
Is it?
Yes, Jordan.
You already have one. I'm sorry, my bad. You could do it.
Christopher Light?
And nobody said the thought.
All right, Mr. Light, do you need the service of the public defender?
Yes, sir.
All right, I will appoint the public defender to represent you. State wish to be heard?
Yes, Your Honor, state has filed a pretrial detention motion for the trafficking fentanyl count. If the court finds probable cause, they would request that the defendant, that the motion be reviewed for legal sufficiency, and if found to be legally sufficient, be held no bond until pretrial detention hearing on Thursday, May 8th at 8:30 on the A2 docket.
All right, sir. Well, as it relates to the charge of possession of methamphetamine with intent to sell and possession of cocaine with intent to sell, bond amount for each of those is $10,000. Then you have a charge of resisting officer without violence with a bond of $1,000. Possession of drug paraphernalia with a bond of $1,000. Possession of fentanyl with intent to sell. That's different than the trafficking one, correct, State?
Yes, that's correct.
As to the possession of fentanyl with intent to sell, the bond will be $15,000. Then there's the trafficking in fentanyl. The defendant will be held no bond. Motion for pretrial detention is found to be sufficient. And then there are two failures to appear for pretrial. Defendant will be held no bond on those pursuant to the warrant signed by the Honorable Judge of Law Hart. Good luck, sir. Thank you. Xavier Lemos.
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, do you need the service of the public defender? Sir, do you need the service of the public defender?
No, sir.
All right, sir, you're here on charge of tampering with physical evidence and the possession of methamphetamine with a bond of $5,000 each and possession of drug paraphernalia with a bond of $1,000. Good luck, sir.
Great.
Michael Lopez. Mr. Lopez, you have got two warrants out of Osceola County for failure to appear for court. You will be held no bond on those charges, and we'll have you brought back next Friday if Osceola County hasn't done what they're supposed to do. Good luck, sir. Gregory Lowell.
Yes, sir.
Sir, do you need the service of the public defender?
Yes, sir.
I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You're in a charge of grand theft. The bond amount is $5,000. Good luck, sir.
That 5,000 to get out or 500? 500, right?
Daryl McKenzie.
Yes, sir.
Sir, do you need the service of the public defender?
Yes, sir.
I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You're in charge of trespass on an occupied structure. Your bond amount is $1,000. Good luck, sir.
Sir.
Joel Medina.
Yes, sir.
Sir, do you need the service of the public defender?
Yes.
I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You're here on an allegation of a violation of probation. You will be held no bond on that charge. Good luck, sir. Michael Mickens.
Yes, sir.
Sir, do you need the service of the public defender?
Yes, sir.
All right, public defender's previously been appointed. This is a violation of probation. You will be held no bond on that charge pursuant to the warrant signed by the Honorable Judge Hope Patey. Good luck, sir. Larry Morrow.
Yes, sir.
Sir, do you need the service of the public defender?
Yes, sir.
I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You're on charge of driving a license suspended and operating a motorcycle without a license. The bond for each of those is $250. Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
Robert Mockridge, or Mockridge, how do you say your last name?
Mulbridge, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, sir, do you need the service of the public defender?
No.
All right, sir, you're hearing for two failures to appear for arraignment. The bond as to the first one is $250. The bond as to the second one is $500. Good luck, sir. Brandon Peterson.
Yes, sir.
Sir, do you need the service of the public defender?
Yes, I do.
I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You're in charge of possession of ammunition by a convicted felon with a bond of $5,000 and then a violation of probation, which will be held no bond. Good luck, sir.
Sir, I have a question.
Sure.
So on the BOP.
It sounds like you're fixing to make a statement. No statement?
No, on the
What's
BOP, my PO said he done sent in my reinstatement. Will
Okay,
that
so
take?
Hold on. That's a statement again. So is there a question somewhere in there?
Do you know when my court date would be since if he sent that in already?
No, sir. Good luck.
All right, thank
Charles
you.
Pierce?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Pierce, do you need the service of the public defender?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, the public defender previously been appointed. You're on a failure to appear for pretrial. There is a bond of $1,000 as indicated by the warrant signed by the Honorable Judge Stacey Kaler. Good luck, sir.
Thanks, sir.
Omar Pryor?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, do you need the service of the public defender?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You're in charge of domestic violence battery with a bond of $1,000, domestic violence aggravated assault with a deadly weapon with a bond of $10,000. If you're able to bond out, there will be conditions of pretrial release. Those conditions will include the following: that you would not use, possess, or carry any weapons, firearms, guns, knives, or ammunition. You would have no contact with the alleged victim, but you may return to the victim's residence one time only within 48 hours of release accompanied by law enforcement to retrieve any personal items. Good luck, sir.
You said contact with a deadly weapon?
Correct. Good luck, sir. Christopher Robinson?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Robinson, do you need the service of the public defender?
Yes, sir.
I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You're on 2 violations of probation for which you will be held no bond, possession of drug paraphernalia with a bond of $1,000, and possession of methamphetamine with a bond of $5,000. Good luck, sir. Angel Rodriguez?
Yes, sir.
Sir, do you need the service of the public defender?
Yes, sir.
I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You're going to charge domestic violence battery. There is probable cause for the charge. Your bond amount will be $1,000. If you're able to find out there'll be conditions of pretrial release, those conditions will include the following: you would not use, possess, or carry any weapons, firearms, guns, knives, or ammunition. You have no contact with the alleged victim, but you may return to the victim's residence one time only within 48 hours of release, accompanied by law enforcement to retrieve any personal items. Good luck, sir. Giovanni Rodriguez.
Bonded.
Thank you. Brian Rondon Perez.
Yes.
All right, sir, you're here on a, fugitive from justice out of New Jersey. You'll be held no bond on that charge. Is the public defender get appointed on this?
No,
All right, usually they do.
I believe we do. Stand corrected. Yes, sir.
All right, public defender will be appointed. Good luck, sir.
All right, I got a question. Do they have a time limit? Do they have a time limit to pick me up?
Oh, you want to talk to an attorney about that? You've been here long enough to realize I'm not a very good judge. I was the worst lawyer, so.
So I gotta, what's my next court date?
I don't know. See, I told you. JT Scott? Mr. Scott, do you need the service of the public defender? I can't hear you. Do you need the public defender?
No, sir. I don't understand my charges.
Okay.
You need a public defender.
I don't need one, no, sir.
Okay. Well, you're on a charge of failure to appear for an arraignment with a warrant signed by the Honorable Judge Bob Brody. Your bond amount is $250 for that charge. Good luck, sir.
I was in the hospital and I tried to contact him. I couldn't get a hold of him. I got a surgery tomorrow, prostate surgery tomorrow. I'm disabled vet. I have no one at my house with my dog or my animals. No one knows where I'm at, sir.
Okay.
You understand? I'm in a bind. I got surgery tomorrow. No one knows where I'm at. I'm a disabled vet. I'm at a cross.
Well, you probably should ask for the public defender then, but okay.
No one's that. No one's.
Want a public defender?
Yes. I need can I get pre-trial? No one's at my house. No one knows where I'm at.
I will appoint the public defender to represent you then, sir. Good luck.
What is the charge?
Sebastian?
Yes.
Sir, you need the service of the public defender.
Yes.
I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You're here on 2 counts of violation of probation. You'll be held no bond on those charges. Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
Brandon Shaw?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Shaw, do you need the service of the public defender?
Yes, sir.
I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You're in charge of driving while license suspended or revoked with a bond of $250. Additionally, you have open cases 21 CF 9247, 23 CF 4746, 24 CF 1876. Do we know what those are? All right. Other driving while, okay. All right, then conditional release will be revoked on those cases. You'll be held no bond on those charges. Good luck, sir. I'm sorry.
23 CF 4746, 24 CF 1876.
Gary Smith?
Yes, sir.
Smith, you need service of the public defender.
Yes, sir.
I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You're in charge of possession of a revoked or suspended license, bond of $250. 2 counts of DUI with a bond of $1,000 each, and driving while license suspended or revoked again with a bond of $250. Additionally, you have 2 open cases in diversion, 24 CT 9720, 9721. What are those in diversion for?
He was pretty sure he was out of bond, or he's out of bond.
Okay.
Driving with license suspended and violating financial responsibility.
Okay. So as it relates to those 2 cases, 9720 and 9721, bond will be revoked. Defendant will be held no bond pursuant to Parker v. State.
And this is
Megan?
Is this Smith, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to.
All right, good luck, sir. Larry Spence?
Yes.
Mr. Spence, do you need the service of the public defender?
Okay.
I don't know what okay means. Is that a yes or a no?
Yes.
All right, I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You got 3 counts of violation of probation here. You will be held no bond on those charges. Good luck, sir.
Is Pinellas County gonna pick me up?
I don't know. I don't know anything about Pinellas County.
Okay.
Eric Sandridge? Mr. Sandridge, do you need the service of the public defender?
Yes.
I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You're in charge of conspiracy to commit grand theft and grand theft with a bond of $5,000 each. And then there's 25 CT 2505. So that's just a notice to appear, right?
Yes.
All right. Good luck, sir.
Is that bond?
Yes.
Just trying to catch up.
Matthew Taylor?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Taylor, you are here for a warrant out of Hardee County for non-support. I guess the purge amount is $300. Good luck, sir. Archie Thomas?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Thomas, do you need the service of the public defender?
Yes, sir, I do.
I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You're in charge of petty theft, second offense. Your bond amount is $1,000. Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
Cedric Thomas?
Yes, sir.
Do you need the service of the public defender?
Public defender.
All right, I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You're in charge of possession of drug paraphernalia with a bond of $1,000 and possession of methamphetamine with a bond of $5,000. Good luck, sir.
Alrighty.
Brian Tipton?
Sir.
Mr. Tipton, you're in charge of domestic violence battery by strangulation. Do you need the service of the public defender?
Yes, sir.
I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond amount will be $10,000 additionally pursuant to the warrant. Where's the warrant? Signed by the Honorable Judge Kevin Abdoni. You would not use, possess, or carry any firearms, guns, weapons, ammunition, or knives. You have no contact with the alleged victim. You stay at least 500 feet away from the victim's home, vehicle, place of employment, and/or school at all times. Good luck, sir. Karen Todd?
Yes, sir.
Sir, do you need the service of the public defender?
Yes, sir, please.
I can't hear you, sir. Do you need the service of the public defender?
Yes, sir.
I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You are charged with no valid driver's license, no driver's license for operating a motorcycle, and reckless driving. The bond as to each of those is $250. Then a charge of fleeing or attempting to elude the police. The bond amount will be $5,000. These are pursuant to the warrant signed by the Honorable Judge Catherine Company. Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
Eric Van Werven?
Yes, sir.
Sir, you need the service of the public defender.
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You're in charge of possession of drug paraphernalia with a bond of $1,000 and possession of methamphetamine with a bond of $5,000. Additionally, you're bonded out on 25 CF 2708. What is that case?
Same charge, possession of methamphetamine, possession of drug paraphernalia.
All right. Pursuant to Parker v. State, the bond will be revoked under that case. You will be held no bond for those charges.
You said 25 CF 201-ish?
270.
Okay, thank you.
270. Good luck, sir.
I'm trying to type it in. Good luck.
Philip Vitelli?
Yes.
Sir, do you need the service of the public defender?
Yes.
I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You're on charge of domestic violence battery. There is probable cause for the charge. Your bond amount will be $1,000, and if you're able to bond out, there'll be conditions of pretrial release. Those conditions will include the following: you would not use, possess, or carry any weapons, firearms, guns, knives, or ammunition. You would have no contact with the alleged victim, but you may return to the victim's residence one time only within 48 hours of release accompanied by law enforcement to retrieve any personal items. Good luck, sir.
Sir.
Jaquan Walker?
Haunted.
Thank you. Aaron Weeks?
Yes, sir.
Weeks, do you need the service of the public defender?
Yes, sir.
I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You're here on 4 counts of violation of probation. You will be held no bond on those charges. Good luck, sir. Aaron Weeks. Jason White?
Yes, sir.
Sir, do you need service of the public defender?
Yes, sir, I do.
I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You are here on 8 counts of violation of probation, you will be held no bond on those charges. Good luck, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All the way through.
What about Robert Windley?
He bonded.
I didn't say again. Okay.
What time is it, Judge?
159.
Yes, sir. Bailiff Highway says it's 159.
159. Sounds good to me. Good job, Judge.
Thank you very much. Y'all have a good weekend.
You too.
Judge.